What's up, witches? Welcome back to Poppin' In Podcast with Alexa and Molly. I'm Alexa.
I'm Molly.
And today we have the biggest horror in the house, voted most likely to be in your bushes at night, returning friend of the pod, Megan!
Yay! What an introduction!
Thank you.
Wow.
I was trying to think of, what's a creepy sound to make?
The John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Aww,
That feels like a mouse.
That was like a little puppy mouse.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That was good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in.
So if you don't know Megan, she is a friend of ours. She also listens to the podcast every week.
No, she doesn't.
I do not, but
I was going to give her a grace.
every couple
She
weeks.
doesn't.
But
Yeah.
she is an October baby in love with all things spooky. She's sitting here with her serial killers
Literally, she
book.
has horror books in
Yes,
front of her.
just staring
And
at
my
us.
That she
horror-
just
my
brought
horror
over.
trivia.
That's her
thanks
notes.
to Alexa
Yeah.
and Molly.
Her notes are serial killers.
Yeah.
No, literally.
And I actually have a question for you.
Oh.
Okay, this is like a chicken or the egg situation, but do you think if you hadn't been born in October, you would love horror movies as much, or do you think like that contributes to like your love of death and murder?
God, that was worded perfectly because I do think about death and murder a lot.
No, I know.
I do love a good murder.
That one time, like, I mentioned a murder you had never heard of. I was like, she's gone for the rest of the day. She's Googling, she's searching.
I'm in a deep dive. Honestly, I don't think so because October, you're surrounded by all the scary movies. They're on TV. They're being talked about. It's like spooky season's fall. You know, like there's just spooky shit going on all the time. So I don't know if I would be as into it. Plus, like, October's just the best month of the year, in my opinion. There's a lot to look forward to.
You know what I thought about recently? I actually might be one of my favorite like seasons, holidays, because it's sort of the intro. Like it's like kind of like the Christmas Eve of holidays. Like you know how no one likes
That is
Christmas,
true.
everyone likes Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Because you're like it's like it gets you ready for like
That's
it's getting into the because we all love things like we all love fall Christmas theme like time. But, like, October and Halloween kind of gets you into the spirit. It's, like, the pregame of, like,
That is true.
you know? And it's just so festive and fun.
And it's like for everyone, you know? Whereas Christmas, it's like not everybody celebrates Christmas.
That is true. Yeah.
That's true. This one
Then
itches
then
now.
there's people out there that really don't celebrate Halloween, but I think they're a bunch of weenies if they don't. So
There are a bunch of Halloweenies.
Oh, my gosh.
there are weenies out there like, oh no, I'm not celebrating that pagan holiday or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
stop.
Matthew just sent a screenshot. I won't say who it was, but somebody posted, like, reposted something on Facebook of, like, them being like, I don't celebrate Halloween. Like, I celebrate fall. And they're, like, talking about, like, the demonic stuff of Halloween.
See,
and
here
I'm
we
just like,
go.
can you just, like, stop being a child and, like,
Yeah.
it's not that deep. Come
It's
on
really
now.
not. Like, enjoy a little spooky. Enjoy a little horror. Like, let's all, like, be a little witchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling Molly, I think I told both of you, I saw this girl, I really want to get this shirt at the art festival the other week, and she had a shirt. It said, they didn't burn witches, they burned women. And it really, like, stuck
I
with
want you
me.
to know, like,
Damn.
if it was your birthday coming up, I would definitely buy you that shirt.
I want it so badly. It's like a crop top, too.
She's like, for women.
Yeah, it's cute.
I
yeah.
love
like it's so you.
Yeah, it is. And it really, like, I was just, like, at the art
She's
festival,
so
and I was like,
excited. I want to find it immediately
they did. They did burn
women.
women.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
because they thought we were evil. We
Yeah.
are, but
Oh, they just
I would
thought
love if someone
hysterics.
thought I was a witch. I know, like, back in, if I were
You
put
wouldn't
back in, no.
want that then, yeah.
No,
Not
but I
back
know
then,
why
not back
people would
then.
think that about me immediately. They would look at me and they'd be like, yeah, she's definitely
that
a
checks
witch.
out.
Yeah,
That checks out.
She's got something going on in her pockets.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're here because it is spooky season, and we're just gonna really, like, dive into all things spooky this episode. We're gonna get into movies, we're gonna get into, like, what scares us, we're gonna get into the psychology, and you know what? Maybe you'll see a little murder here. Who knows?
Yes.
Oh. We invited you here to
Yeah.
kill
Oh, no,
you.
guys, this is the last you'll see of me.
Yeah.
Well, they're not seeing you, they're hearing you.
Can you imagine if you're, like, listening to a
Yeah.
podcast and you just
Just
heard
hear-
someone get murdered? Oh, okay.
Oh,
TMZ.
Only
mean,
murder, that's what
they're-
Only Murders in the Building is about.
Oh, true. Which I want to talk to you about that season
I do
later.
too. I do too.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, so my first question is, what do you think, like, really draws you to horror?
You have a good one for me. Like you have like a good theory about me.
Oh, I think, like, not just horror, but, like, the like the
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
drawn to in general. I think we're drawn to things that maybe, like, we are lacking in our lives a little bit. So, like, for me, like, I am very much drawn to movies where it's like, oh, this is a nice family dynamic and people love each other. And I think you are drawn to, like, like scary things or
Darkness,
dark
yeah.
things where it's like you don't have that in your life. But the thing is, I love horror and scary movies too, but like in a different way, where like your comfort movies are like Knives Out, because like, you know, nobody's getting like
Midsummer.
Midsummer, whereas my comfort movie is like Pride and Prejudice, you know what I mean?
And my comfort movie is X.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm curious, but like
Slash
maybe like
Terrifier.
that applies to both of you, because you both have like lovely like family dynamics, like great, you know what I mean? And like I think like
Yeah, I think that
not to
explains
say
it.
like I should clarify, like I wasn't getting like people weren't getting murdered in my family and stuff growing up, but it's like a little
No,
bit different.
I definitely get what you're saying. And I think that's what it is. I think because I'm not a huge, like, I feel like you would say you're an adrenaline junkie, Megan. I wouldn't say that I am. I like a good roller coaster, but I don't like ones that make me uncomfortable.
Fair.
So, that was a
Yeah.
stupid statement, but like, you know, I don't like super crazy ones.
Yeah.
So like, I think sometimes horror, we always say like horror is the same as comedy in a way.
Yeah.
It evokes like reactions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It has a punchline essentially the way that comedies do. And I think like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think that it's just a little bit of all that. I think it's comforting for me. I don't know.
And I was thinking the
Yeah.
other day about how like, you know, like scary movies never get nominated for Oscars, but also
Yes.
Messed up.
funny movies
honestly.
don't either. And it's
Yeah.
kind of for the same reason, even though I feel like it's almost easier to create like a sweeping drama with like these touches of
Or a
family.
biopic.
Yes, but it's like humor and horror are so
They're difficult,
subjective that
yeah.
if you create something that like spans across that people like touch into, I think that is like the most difficult thing to do, rather than just like Oppenheimer was great, but it's like, yeah, this is obviously going to be a great movie about, because what it's about, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Because some people are going to be like, okay, like this movie didn't make me laugh, but this kind of humor does.
Yeah.
Same with horror. Like The Conjuring doesn't scare me, but like Hereditary does. But like no one's gonna say about a drama. Like no one's gonna be like, oh, this biopic really moved
Yeah.
me, but this one didn't.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Maybe they would,
but
but-
anyways, yeah, Megan, what draws you to horror?
I'm literally like listening to y'all's responses, and I'm really trying to like think. Like I think Molly's right. I am like an adrenaline junkie. I see. Here's the thing: is like there are people who don't like scary movies because it does ignite that kind of like that fear reaction. But for me, I'm like the jump scares. Like, does it have good jump scares? Like if the movie doesn't have like a good like scene where I'm gonna like jump out of my seat or like be quote scared by something, then to me that's not necessarily like great.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I just there's so many different aspects of different types of scary movies that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
There are some movies that are scary that make me uncomfortable, but like, and like there are two movies to this day that I do not like to watch alone, and that's The Exorcist and Cujo, but for different reasons.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
it's like, for example, I grew up with dogs. Like if I'm trying to think of like something that ignited like a fear out of me from the very beginning, I grew up with dogs. My biggest fear when I was younger was my dad showed me Cujo when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, something like
Yeah.
that. I would not go near my own dogs for weeks. I was petrified that they were going to kill me in my sleep. It was that bad.
So we can get into this, but like our next question was, what was the first
Oh my
movie
God,
that
that's so
scared
funny.
you? Was Cujo the first movie for
I
you?
would absolutely.
I think we have Alexa and I have the
don't
same
like-
one. I
Oh,
think.
wow.
I think.
You know what's interesting? I thought I put this question on here, but
I
I
didn't
didn't
see that.
But I was
Yeah.
thinking like what's the first movie that scared you, but that's not, it doesn't have to necessarily be a scary movie.
Oh, then I have a
is
different
what I was
answer.
thinking.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Because
curious.
here's like, okay, actually I have 3 things.
Okay.
The first
I have
one
something
is
too.
like Alice in Wonderland when they're in the forest and like the Cheshire cat comes
gonna-
out.
I'm gonna think
Really
about
messed
this,
with me.
actually.
But what really scared me,
Also, Wonderland's scary.
Alice, it is,
I have a
was
different answer.
the Mummy with the Beatles.
Oh yeah,
That came up. I literally
They
was
crawl
like, I
through
was
your
yes,
skin.
I thought they were gonna come out of my shower drain all the time.
Yes.
I also will get into this later. Like, watched the original It at like
Yeah.
8 years old, and
Yes.
I always thought blood was gonna come out. Also, the concept of hell.
Okay, so
Like in vacation Bible
Yeah.
school, I'm sitting there, and again, I'm like 6 or 7 years old, and I'm just like, they said,
oh,
what?
that just reminded me what another one for me.
They
is.
said, people are gonna go where?
They really scared. So I went to a Lutheran school growing up, and we watched Passion of the Christ in school.
I've actually never seen that because I've heard it's very traumatic.
that one really.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it. I was very
How
scared.
old were you?
I mean, I went there from
Probably
age
young.
4 to 7, so
That's crazy.
I think
Yeah, I
they-
would not show
yeah.
Is that
that.
movie rated R?
So maybe
I
they
think
didn't
it's
show
PG-13.
that one. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. But they showed some kind of Christ movie that was so
It was
scary.
probably that
Yeah.
one.
Because the Bible is terrifying.
It really is.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, so I do have an answer for both. So the original It was the first like horror movie I saw.
Classic.
And that was obviously, when he comes out, the original one's way scarier than the new one. I think the new ones are, hold on, let me just get through this. Like, sorry, not to cut you off, but I just have to get these thoughts out. So the new those are great movies, but they're not as scary, I think. The original one, when he comes out of the shower drain, terrifying.
I just watched that last
think
night.
it's partially because of there's like to like 90s movies, it's like dirtiness and grittiness to things, whereas sometimes in movies today, like the scary movies, they're like a little bit too perfect. And that's what I feel like in the recent It movies, where I'm like, everything's a little too like nice. You know
I think
what I
with the
mean?
new It movies, like they really rely. What's great about those is like the chemistry between the kids. The acting is really good in those movies, and I think it's just overall they're good movies. But like But I think with the original it's less about the kids, and to me it was like Pennywise is so scary.
Yeah.
And that, and,
Shout
like,
out to Tim Curry for that one.
and he shouldn't be that scary. He looks
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous, but like he is actually, like when he comes out of the shower drain, it's so scary.
Again,
It
I
is.
always thought about that. It was like the Mummy Beatles or Tim Curry coming out of my
I
shower
was
drain.
way
I was kind
too
of a
young
dirty
watching
kid.
that. But
Anyways.
the thing that I was gonna say too of like what scared me that was not a horror movie was Fiddler on the Roof. Have you ever
Okay.
seen that movie?
No.
I have
Oh my
never
God.
heard of that.
I don't know why. It's one of my favorite musicals now, but like growing up, like whenever I saw there's a scene in it that is, it's a funny, like it's supposed to be a funny scene, but it scared the shit out of me as a kid. And so and just overall, like the sound of the fiddle, the violin, like just used to like creep me out. And I don't know why, like it really scared me.
I could see that.
But I think we should also have a little like chat about what scenes from, it doesn't have to be horror movies, I guess, but like what are some of the scariest scenes you've ever seen?
Yes,
I have answers.
Like, do you want me to name mine?
Well,
Sure.
give your answer first to like what is like the first thing that scared you necessarily.
So definitely Cujo.
okay,
For sure.
yeah.
But I was just thinking about this, and this may not even be the best answer, but I'm just trying to think of like movies I saw as a kid. Now, this may not even be the best answer, but like other movies that like may not have been scary, but like parts of it scared me.
Mhm.
E.T.
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah.
E.T.
His little grimy little
It
finger.
scared the first time.
E.T.
Like,
scared
I'm
me
just trying to
too.
think the first. And of course, it turns into like a pretty heartwarming movie. I think, right at the end.
It
right?
is. It's
Yeah.
definitely not supposed to be
I
scary,
haven't
but
seen it since I was little, but I mean something about E.T. himself. When I was little, I literally thought that there were aliens. I was playing like imaginary game with like a friend like when I was little, and I was convinced that there were aliens watching us. Like,
No.
I'm like 7 or 8 by
he
this
was
point.
also designed creepily too. And
Very,
my grandparents had a little, because I always watched at my grandparents' house, but like they had a little ET like toy, and if
Yes.
he pressed his finger, he would say, he'd be like, "I'm ET,"
Yeah.
and he'd go, "ET phone home," and like I was so scared of him.
Yes.
I just was like, what's wrong with him? Does he need to be watered?
And then when
like,
they make, I think I'm trying to remember, they bring like the hazmat people into the
Yeah,
house
that
and they
scared
put
me.
white sheets up, I think, to get
Yeah.
him out of there. I'm like, what is going on?
That scene where he's in the
Yeah.
closet, and again, it's supposed to be funny, but when he has the wig on, and then
Yes,
Gertie,
it's
little Drew
creepy.
Barrymore, sees him, and she's like, "Ah!" And he's like, "Ah!"
That
that is a
perfect,
good one.
actually.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's like
That's a
the
good
best
answer,
example
yeah.
that
Yeah.
that I'm thinking of outside of like the traditional scary movie. 'Cause
Watch
E.T.'s not scary.
Fiddler on the Roof. It is so scary.
Okay.
You'll know what scene I'm
I'm
talking
intrigued.
about.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a beautiful
Um,
movie, but
So your question about like what scenes?
Yeah.
So I actually so the scene from It, like when it's like she opens a fridge and a head is in the fridge or something, really scared me. But also like the first time you see him in the drain, like really, again, I was like 8 years
Yeah.
old watching this. I don't think I was supposed to be watching it. And then like I don't think this is the first time I saw this, but this is the time I always think of. But in Paranormal Activity, when it's like anytime you see it's like someone sleeping and a blanket
Yeah.
is moving
Yes.
and no one's
I take
that.
back what I
that
said about that
was-
slander.
that-
I take back
Megan
what I
told me
said
that
about
today,
Paranormal
yeah.
Activity slander.
That freaks me
no,
out.
because I thought that was happening to me in
Yes.
the middle of the night for real.
And one of my biggest jump scares, I think it's in Insidious, when they're just like, they're talking about the demon, they're sitting at the table, and it like pans to the husband, and it's just like the demon is behind him, like, and it's so fast. and
I
he's
think I
literally like,
remember
"Oh
that.
shit!"
It's so scary.
It's so
I think
so
I remember
scary.
that. I know.
Yes.
I'm not on the Insidious train.
I'm not
but I
either.
do think
but
I
the
remember
first
that.
one was really
Yeah.
terrifying.
Does he have a red face?
He
Yes,
does. He's like
yeah.
a demon. He literally looks like
Yeah.
he looks like the emoji demon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he does.
yeah,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
okay,
Yeah.
That's where they got it from.
I think so.
Could possibly.
Oh, and also like anything from The Grudge and The Ring, honestly. But we'll get into
That so I watched.
Shout out to the Japanese horror. Oh my god.
What from The Ring scares you? Like I'm just curious because The Ring just did not scare me. I know you know
that's
this.
so
but,
crazy.
But what scenes? Like I just
So the
couldn't even
take
tell you.
for me, because that movie came out when I was in middle school, so the prank calling, like we did that to our
Yeah.
friends. We literally did
My
that, and
mom-
people would be like, people would prank call us and be like 7 days, and I was fucking convinced.
My sister was having a sleepover and they all watched it and I did too, even though I was like way younger than everyone. And then it ended and my mom called the upstairs phone and like one of the girls answered it and she goes, 7 days.
Oh,
And it's like literally a bunch of 13-year-olds being like,
I know the exact scene that scares the shit out of me from that movie. It's in the very beginning when you get when you first see the two girls at the sleepover, and then they're talking about what happened to them, and then you open the closet door and it's just her face is all like disfigured from the ring, and it's just like her face is there, but it makes a really weird ringing sound.
That didn't
and
get
it made me jump.
What got me was it's like 3 things. When she comes out of the well and it's like the way she's moving and you still
it's
can't
so
like
creepy.
see her face. And then for some reason, like the whole scene when Naomi Naomi Watts, not Naomi Campbell.
That'd be a very different movie.
The first time she's like watching the film, there is
take,
something about that whole scene that
It's
is so
creepy.
the fly that's like flying outside of the film
Yeah.
and her
The woman
stretching
with the
it.
black hair in the mirror.
It really gets me.
You know what I think ruined it for me was Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Like because
Fair.
I think because I had grown up watching those and they make fun of it heavily in one of them. I think it's
Cindy,
the third one.
the TV's leaking.
Yeah. The third one I think third one. And they make fun of it so much in that movie that like by the time I saw The Ring, I was like
Yeah.
not scared by it because I felt like I'd already seen it or something. I don't know. But The Grudge did scare me a lot.
That was
Yeah.
good.
We watched
It
that
was-
recently
It
and
was
I was
really.
terrified.
It felt
Yeah.
so good to watch that again. You hadn't seen it.
I
Right?
hadn't
It felt
seen it-
so good to watch that again.
I think probably since the first time I saw it
Yeah.
because it scared me so badly that I was just like
I
I'm-
underestimated it. Honestly, I was like, "Oh, The Grudge is not that
Yeah.
bad." I'm like, "Dang!"
And I need to rewatch it. I was thinking about this earlier,
I
like
just watched the original last night.
But I was like, I
Really?
don't.
Yeah.
I think that one's deep, like, because I watched it so young and it like really deeply
It's so
scared me. I
good.
think it would almost scare me like equally as much
I-
now.
yeah, his
Matthew-
voice is so creepy.
His voice is funny because it's like a New York accent, but then like
Do you
Bill
want a balloon?
Skarsgård
Yeah.
does like a Scooby Doo voice. Like
Yeah,
both
he
of them
does.
do weird choices.
Georgie.
But I've seen that one a lot. I think I've seen the new ones more, but I think the original just is so scary.
Really
Okay, so the scariest scene for me.
Oh yeah, I saw the name on.
Oh my god, have you guys seen The Exorcist 3?
no.
Okay, so I've seen a scene from that.
It's probably the scene I'm
based
talking
on
about.
a TikTok that we talked about, or something about movie scenes. Speak.
Speak. Okay, the third Exorcist has the scariest scene of it's like a jump. I don't want to call it jump scare. I hate jump scares, but like it is so freaky because it's just the way they film it. So it's like they're in a hospital corridor. Yeah.
it.
And this like nurse, it's like the shot is just on the same thing for like 4 minutes. Like literally it's like a 4-minute scene and you're just seeing, but it like tension is building. And this like nurse is walking back and forth. She's like locking the door, coming in and out, like whatever. And then finally at the end, like she's walking out of the room and just this like figure is just walking behind her with like, it is like the big, and it zooms in on it. And it is
Yeah.
so unexpected and terrifying.
Yeah.
It is
It
the
is.
scariest. It's so scary.
I've never seen that. I've never seen The Exorcist 3.
Oh my god!
But
It also
I
has a
remember
really good
looking
song
up.
in it.
I looked up that scene specifically because like you had shared a TikTok where we had talked about like some of the top scariest scenes in movies, and I saw like the rest of them. Like one of them was like the weird Skinamarink or whatever. I was like, fuck that. I
Oh,
was like,
Matthew
no.
and I could not finish that. That is to me
I
like
thought it was so boring.
uncomfortable. No, it is so unnerving. We like got sad. We like couldn't because it thought reminded us of our niece and nephews. But like it was so upsetting the way that they filmed that movie.
Yeah.
It's disturbing, and it's kids. Like it's really upsetting.
And that's
Yeah.
what I find interesting is like, so horror movies have like such a, like all these subgenres of just like, this is like gore, this is torture, this is psychological
Yeah.
thriller, etc. And I think like, at least between like a lot of the examples that we are listing off, to me, I find the scariest things are in the subtlety of it. Like, I think one of the scariest recent things was when I was watching Barbarian, and she finds that rope, and she pulls it, and it's silent, and she's just like, this, like, you're just like, there's something, and she goes, it's even before she goes into the big tunnel, she's just in that one room with the bed, and I'm sitting there, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
And I think there's
you
something...
don't know what's down there, but something's down there, because otherwise why would that rope be even attached in the first place?
Right. And before I get into like my next topic, did you say your scary scenes?
I did not.
Okay,
but I'm glad Molly said The Exorcist, because I will die on this hill. I'm sure this is the same for a lot of people, but my God, The Exorcist is so terrifying. Like, it is. I just remember my dad used to talk about, like, people were running out of theaters back in the 1970s.
Yeah, they were vomiting and like passing out.
Yes, and I see, and for me, like, other normal
people would try to attack the screen.
Yes, normal people.
What? Why?
Because they were like, there's a demonic.
It's demonic.
Normal people would be like,
Stupid.
I don't want to, like, normal people would be like, I don't like that. Meanwhile, I am like, give me the chance to experience that kind of terror. But my goodness, like, the build up to her becoming like, to Reagan becoming like the full blown, like, demonically possessed.
And I forgot, it's a long opening.
Have you
so
read
many
the book?
scenes. No, I want to. It's on my list though.
Forgot it's a book.
So many scenes. I mean, even when she crawls down the stairs backwards and spits up blood. When she's being flailed back and forth on the bed because she, like, it's like forcing her to jump and move, and she can't. She's like, it's burning, like, and it's crazy. And then it leads up to the horrific scene of, you know, the infamous scene where her head twists around backwards and her mom gets thrown against the wall and she's like masturbating with a cross, and it's so unsettling. That scene has, when I was younger, I was way too young to see that, but like, shout out to my dad for, like, you know, showing me that stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to expose your kids, man, you know, just scare them a little bit.
Yeah.
But I grew up appreciating the terrifying movie that was.
You know what? And if you look back at, like, just like, let's take it back to, like, the beginning of humankind. Like, we have been telling ourselves or each other scary stories since, like, the beginning of time. And part of it is because if you have, like, a controlled, scary experience together, then it kind of, like, releases these endorphins. But also, like, scary stories are a way to, like, prepare you for the world. So it's like, sure, you've seen The Exorcism, that's horrific. Now, like, the actual horrors of the world probably seem a little bit more manageable.
Well, I think, so that's why, like, it's funny because you were saying your dad introduced you. My dad hates horror movies, but, like, shout out David if you're listening. You were the one who introduced me to horror. Like, he showed me I know I just said it was the first, like, horror movie I watched, but I watched that, like, a lot. Like, I was not supposed to watch it. But also my dad would show me clips from The Shining. He was the one who showed me the twins. We used to live in Colorado, so we went to the hotel where they filmed it.
I'm so jealous.
And that's probably why he showed it to me. But, like, he was the one who introduced me to, like, the scene with the twins and, like, the creepy scenes from that movie. So it's just, like, kind of funny. Like, I feel like it's, like, parents, like, there really is just, like, this, like, thing of you're introducing people. Again, you introduce, like, your kids to comedy movies or whatever. And, like, I don't know. There's just something about that. Or you were saying, like, the endorphins of everybody experiencing something together. It's a reaction that everybody gets from, like, think about being in a horror movie with, like, a big crowd, like, a big audience. And, like, that was just such a fun experience, like, in high school when you would go and see a horror movie and, like, everyone's in the theater. And it's the same when you see a comedy and everyone's, like, laughing at the same time. Like, there's just something about that's just, like, a group experience.
I love when people appreciate horror. Like, I'm just like, it's really not that bad. Like, people are like, I don't like scary movies. I'm like, they're really
I know.
You know what's funny is,
now that
like,
I'm
grow
older.
up.
Yeah. So if anybody on here doesn't like scary movies, like, just go
Well,
watch
they wouldn't
it.
be
Like,
listening to this, maybe. But,
they better be.
Or we are,
Introducing
I'll-
them. Yeah.
If someone tells me they don't like scary movies, I'm going to show them The Exorcist.
So for me, like, my mom really got me into scary movies. Like, my mom, my sister, and I, we all watch scary movies. But I also recognize, like, at way too young in age.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm watching it at, like, 7 or 8. Like, that's really... And I think, like, we didn't watch a lot of the old scary movies. Because I think, like, my mom was always just like, well, I've seen those. I want to
Right.
watch this, whatever. And I think it really influenced me as an adult. And I think about one time in college, we were writing short stories. And my professor, like, asked me to come to his office hours.
No.
And he was... Because the story I wrote was, like, so disturbing, and he was just like, I just want to make sure, like, is everything okay?
Oh my God.
What did you write about?
I don't even remember anymore.
Wait, that's
I wish I still had my
crazy.
old, like, clunky, laptop from like
Yeah.
10 years ago. But he was just like, these are just some really like disturbing like
At least he was
themes
checking
and-
in, actually.
Yeah,
I
which
do
was
appreciate
nice.
that.
But again, I was like
Yeah,
maybe
you're like,
19 years old, and I was like,
creative.
I was like, no, I just, just writing what I know.
That's like
That's crazy.
I was writing like horror stories as like a kid.
Yeah.
But my teachers were like, this is great. But I like, because I remember one where I wrote like the ending was like, and she never woke up or something. And then my teacher was like,
Listen.
she is so creative.
I used to
Wow.
write. I used to write about this. Okay, one time, here's my personal scary story. One time I was like getting out of the shower, and like there's like this step that you have to step up on to like dry off, and I swear to God, I saw this like black shadow figure
Stop.
come into my window in the shape
Please
of
stop.
a girl, and I started screaming, and my mom ran in and she was like, what is it? And I explained it to her, and obviously there was nothing there, so maybe I'm schizophrenic, but whatever. And I used to
I
write
don't
about
like
that
this
all the
story.
time as a kid, and my teachers would just be like, and like it would literally be like the drawings where it's like me and then just like this black shadow figure
That's
like
so
that I'm
scary.
drawing.
Like you see that in literal scary movies where it's like the kids always know something. The kids are seeing something that we're not
What do
seeing.
you think it is that, because, okay, so Matthew's earliest movie was Poltergeist, and he to this day is terrified of that movie. So we watched,
Interesting.
and when I watched
didn't
it,
think it was
I don't think
scary.
it's very scary, but we watched it the other night, and I was like, this is a good movie, actually,
Yeah.
now that I'm because, like, I don't know. No, rewatching it, though, I was like,
I
it's
should
well
rewatch
done.
it.
It's not terrifying, but it is, like, very well done. But what do you think it is about, like, chill in the corner, like, whatever, like, what do you think it is about kids that makes it, like, why do
So-
people use kids?
That's a
I
That's
think
a good one. My
it's
brain's
because
like spinning.
I think whenever like kids for us have this like idea of like innocence and like naivete, and so to see them kind of like fucked up in any sense
Yeah.
is truly disturbing. But that actually gets me into one of my points. So there are actually 5 ways specifically like outlined by psychologists that we are scared, and they come to play in movies a lot. So the first one is extinction, which is just like death. The second one is mutilation or bodily invasion. The third one is loss of autonomy. The fourth is separation, abandonment, or rejection. And the fifth is ego death,
4 is mine.
ego death, aka shame, humiliation, or worthlessness. And so I think what's interesting is I think like number 2 really goes into like the child thing of like bodily invasion, where it's like you don't look at a child and inherently think, wow, they're creepy. But as soon as they're like not doing childlike things, they
That's
are
fair.
creepy. And I think it's the same thing where it's like if your dog kind of like stares at like
Yeah.
the ceiling
You're
for
like,
a while.
what do they know?
Yes, because there is this thing where we assume like children have kind of like this intuition or this
Yeah.
like before they like
Yes.
that's why like it's like, oh, they believe in Santa or whatever. So we think that they know more than they do, when in reality it's probably just like my ghost figure. I probably just saw a shadow
Yeah.
of myself toweling off.
My cat, Obi, will stare into the fireplace. He just goes and just stares into the fireplace. And it is one of the scariest things ever, because I'm just like, what is in there? Like, what
Yeah.
does he see?
What?
And he does it a lot. And I'm like terrified.
There was one spot on the wall in my house where both dogs used to always just stare at this one spot. Like
That's scary.
I have
Yeah,
a lot of
I would be
random
like, they
scary
know
stories from my house growing up.
See, like a fireplace is one thing, because I'm like, he might just hear things,
Yeah.
whatever. But like one spot on the wall,
And it
what
would
could
be
that
like
be?
over like over 15 years, like their entire life, like they would
It's
stare like right above the
terrifying.
couch. Anyways, that's my personal horror story.
What is? Sorry, go ahead, Megan.
I was just saying the more I think about with especially the involvement of kids, like now that I'm thinking about it, I mean I'm thinking about all these scary movies that I really love and how much scarier they are because there's something going on with children. Like Reagan from The Exorcist, she's a 12-year-old girl. Nobody wants to see a 12-year-old girl have something so terrible happen to her.
Yeah.
And then like her innocence is just taken from her when this like demon possesses her. And then the kid from The Shining, Red Rum, he's he knows, like Danny, he knows he has The Shining. And
Yeah.
it's like these children, it's so different. And then like we recently saw Weapons, and it's like these children are being controlled, and
Yeah.
it's very scary.
I think it touches into our biological drive to like protect and care for like a child, in like a very deep like back of your brain type
Rosemary's
of way.
Baby, the
Yeah.
little devil, like it's like,
But because it goes like back all the way like in biblical times, like with the whole like we're gonna murder all the firstborn sons. I'm really not like well read on the Bible, but that's the one I come to. Or like like even in like the British Isles, like they would talk about like changeling babies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think it also is like I think a lot of original horror is our way of determining like biodiversity as well, where like originally it'd be like, oh, we're afraid of this thing, and it's like, well, that thing is not like us, and we're like this, so it has to be scary. And I think what's interesting is as a society, we have kind of gotten past that. Obviously, like commingle with different like cultures in society. We've accepted people with different disabilities, different ailments, etc. But our horror still like kind of draws on these things that go all the way back to like our very like base instinct fears.
Yeah.
And I think and this just made me think
That was
of
a
actually.
lot, sorry.
I want to like I'm hoping this goes off of that makes sense, or to make it make sense, because I need to get this out. I was just thinking about this, but back to like the scary, like the scenes, the very unsettling scenes. Like I forgot to mention like the very last scene in the Blair Witch Project, and when you touch in on like this idea of witchcraft or the supernatural, it's like you don't know what to expect. You have no idea why that dude is standing in the corner. Like with like that, like the way that it's filmed. So you think about scenes like that from movies, and how are we scared? What scares us? Is it the footage? Is it the unknown? Is it like what is it?
For me, and I think for a lot of people, and it's why like some people might not find Blair Witch Project or even like you were saying, you don't think Paranormal Activity is very scary, but like to me it's like the unknown and like not seeing. To me, like what Blair Witch Project does perfectly is not show anything.
Yes.
Yet somehow those scenes in the middle of the night when they're waking up, which they'd always wake up at like 2 a.m. or whatever, which is like the scariest time to wake up because it's like dark, no one's awake, you're terrified, like that's so scary, and they're not showing anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And I was gonna like, I 100% agree with that, because when we were talking about Barbarian earlier, I thought like, you were like, oh, well, I'm surprised you didn't put that like on our top 10 list. I was like, the thing is, it was very scary until I saw the creature.
No, but but last year when we did the Halloween episode, that was the movie you made Kelly watch. That's why I said
I do love it, yes. But now that I've seen Weapons, I think Weapons is a little bit better.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think it's like,
but I was like, you definitely like thought Barbarian was really scary.
and what I like about Weapons is when you see, I do think I think Barbarian is very scary until you see this big titted monster.
No, they do.
Like
I always
running
say
around.
I do not like the third half of that movie. Like I don't think
respectfully,
but I love the first half.
Like
And the
Justin
reason,
Long,
like-
like doing, no.
Like-
Respect to Justin Long, but like
Weapons is different to me because you see the quote unquote monster, but she's not like prosthetics, and she's not. And I think that's why sometimes like I'm not really into like the old horror movies like Friday the 13th and like Halloween and stuff like that, because it's like
they have their place in horror cinema, but I just don't I don't think they're scary, but they're also. They were at the time. And it's why, I mean, The Exorcist still holds up, but people at the time were terrified of The Exorcist because no one had ever seen, now how many exorcism movies are there? But
so
like,
many, and
at the time, no one had ever seen anything like that. So I think it's that whole thing of just like,
yeah. And that's like brings me to one of the questions I asked on here. It's like, how do you think horror movies have changed over the years?
they're not as good.
Interesting.
Really?
I
think they're
the
so much
opposite.
scarier now.
And maybe it's
Maybe
because...
that was a hot take. Like, let me like simmer on that for a minute. But,
I
get disappointed easily.
I think we've been through. So I do think I think we went through an era where they weren't I don't think, this is me personally, I don't think movies like The Conjuring or all these different Exorcist movies or all these different movies with huge jump scares, like those have, to me, were not good. Then they came back with I think once Robert Eggers started making movies or Jordan Peele, and I think we came back with more auteur horror.
Yeah.
I think now it's back to the classic, what made classic horror movies so good.
See, and I would almost argue the same but different.
Yeah.
Of I think classic horror movies, when you first we were watching Frankenstein 1931 when we came in, and I was watching that and I was like, this is beautifully shot. That was, like you said, very auteur, artistic auteur.
I can't say it either.
Christ, okay.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Christ compels me.
Yeah.
Anyways, horror, and I think the 1970s horror is very slasher, and I know some people that's their jam, but I think that has a place in cinema, and we've I think gotten away from it, where it's then you get into the 90s and it's a little bit more teen horror, but it's still slasher, so you have those influences, and then I think the early 2000s is really a peak of horror, and then it dies down probably until I think we're getting into recently, and I think part of that is because we're getting into horror that's not just I'm gonna put an axe into your skull, but it's I'm this is stuff that sticks with you, horror, images, it's psychological horror.
I
and I think
back what I said.
like people like I think what makes like horror to me personally really good is when it's not just like I'm being chased in a field, but there's something like a little bit deeper to it. And I know like, and that's why like I know like we have opposite opinions on this, but The Haunting of Hill House I think is like a perfect like horror piece because there's the jump scares, there's like the spooky ghosts, but once you get to the end, it's like about family and it's like about like grief and it's about all of these things that I think are really interesting that play together, as opposed to like there's some horror movies where I've seen and I'm just like, what is this really about? Like, I don't want a cheap jump scare. I want something that's gonna like stick with me.
I don't either, and I think
sorry, I really like that was a lot. Welcome to my TED Talk on my personal thoughts.
That was why like the movies like The Conjuring it just seems like a lot of movies like, and I think The Conjuring in some ways there's some good things about it. I think like Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are great. I actually personally think if they had just made movies about Ed and Lorraine Warren,
fair.
But I just don't think like they should have their own like biopic. Like,
yeah,
but I just don't think like the Conjuring movies are very scary. I think they're cheap jump scares. I just don't. But and some people do find that scary. Everyone's different. I don't find Haunting of Hill House scary. I thought they was just cheap jump scares. Like, that's how I saw it. And I also, at the same time, found it very boring. I'm in the minority. People, like, love that show.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why. I've just never thought it was... I just have always found it really boring. Any other show by him I've tried watching, boring. Like, I can't get into his stuff. So, someone explain... Like, I know you've already explained it to me, but, like, I just don't think his stuff is very good.
And that's okay. And that's why, like, I'm saying, like, horror in the same way as, like, humor, it's so difficult to, like, get a mass audience, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, we're three people sitting here having, like, different opinions on it. And I think, like, it's a really, like, if you can tap, like, Weapons, I think, was so substantial this year because it, like, got such great reviews across the board, and that's like hard to do with horror.
Can I just say I'm really sick of Aunt Gladys though.
Yeah,
I don't like, we don't need do you see they're making like a prequel or a sequel movie about Aunt Gladys?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
silly.
we don't need it.
That's my problem. But I'm glad you said that, because I'm sitting here thinking about like what issues do I have with, like, when it comes to scary movies. See, I appreciate the old the original slasher movies for what they were.
Yeah.
Okay. Friday the 13th does not need 10 million remakes.
No.
Halloween does not need Rob Zombie to come in and make it even more disgusting, than it is. I mean, it's like all these little side hustles and remakes are being made. How can they remade Carrie twice? We don't.
Oh my God, they've made it. No, they've made it 4 times, and they can't get it right. They can't figure out.
Guess
Carrie
what?
White is not supposed to be pretty. She's not supposed to be a pretty blonde girl. No one, even the Mike Flanagan one.
Oh yeah,
they hired like a pretty girl for it. She's not supposed to be pretty.
We don't.
So where the crawdads sing conundrum.
They spilled pig's blood on her for a reason.
Give me an ugly bitch or give me death.
Yes.
We literally do not need. I understand people are doing this because they want to make money. How can we continue to make money? How can we make continuous demonic possession movies good again? Guess what? You can.
I think those things, it's like they were great because, like you said, The Exorcist, the Blair Witch Project, it's like those were kind of like the first of their time. You know what I mean? And also, I think I've told you guys the story when they redid Blair Witch Project. I was working at the movie theater. This was so scary. I'm 16 years old. I'm just sweeping up billions of kernels of
already
popcorn.
hate your life.
Nobody's in the theater. It's the credits, and suddenly a scary thing just pops out and goes, ah! Like in the middle of the
and no one stayed.
I'm not kidding, I dropped my broom, I dropped my bucket, and I left. And I said, I'm not cleaning the scary movies anymore. That's really
funny because I'll never forget the time that like Matthew and I wanted Doctor Strange to end so badly. And every Marvel movie has like a mid-credits, end credits scene.
I used to hate those.
And I love Doctor Strange now, but like at the time when we were seeing it in the movies, it was like late at night. I was like, we were done. We were leaving in the movie theater, like people who were there to like clean. They're like, don't leave now, there's gonna be a mid-credits scene. Like, I just can't imagine you. And we're like, we don't care. And I can't imagine you doing that. You'd be like, get the fuck out.
No, I was at the movie theater. I've already like cleaned the counter and everything, and people would be like, how long does it take to make a pizza? It's 10 minutes. I would say it's about 30 to 45 minutes. And they would say, really? That long? And I would say, yeah. If you're willing to wait that long, I can make you one. And it's like as progressively, like the
You're
night
like,
I'd be
it's
like,
actually an hour and 45.
Yes. And people would be like, oh, I don't want to wait that long for a pizza. I was like, I wouldn't either. Yeah. Anyways, I'll give you some stale 8-hour-old popcorn.
Damn.
Oh, I thought she was gonna make the joke about giving the person
Oh, Barnes and Noble.
Oh.
Okay.
That's different. That's
wrong
different.
place, wrong time.
That's
Alexa
different.
did
I
poison
did
somebody.
sell a
Across
bunch
the
of.
street.
Yeah.
I did sell
so
a bunch
sorry.
of movie theater drinks with the drink nozzles in them. About 5. They're $25 each. I went to my manager and I said, "Why are these drink nozzles exploding? They've been exploding for half hour during like rush hour." And he came up and he took a sigh and he looked at me and he said, "They're not exploding. They weren't on properly, and you've sold 5 drinks to customers with drink nozzles in them."
Did he say it like that?
Yes, he was kind of scary.
Were
And
you
I-
sad?
And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Like, he didn't make me pay for them or anything. And he was like, "We just need to pray that no one notices.
I'm
Because
sure
it
they
will
did
be,
not.
no,
It
'cause
wasn't
just-
a dark theater.
Yeah, and it like sounds like ice, but I was just like, God, I should have been fired from.
I'm not sure. Drink nozzles. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Like, you know, like when you're like you're getting a soda and there's like that black part that like shoots out the soda. It's like you have to take it off and clean it every night and then put it back on.
Oh no!
Yes. So they were shooting out, and then like because there's no drink nozzle, it'd be like Mountain Dew is just shooting all over me and the concessions. Anyway,
So they were in the drink.
they're in the drink, like these fat ass
That's
drink
really,
nozzles.
really funny.
People are stirring their little Diet Cokes.
They probably thought it was ice.
Yeah, but anyways,
That's crazy.
That's so
that's
funny.
another personal horror of mine.
Wow.
It sounds
okay.
like you're just living in your own scary movie, and like weird, like we get to like witness this.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I do think I'm losing my mind a little bit, but we'll get into it.
Well,
That's
great. You're a good final girl.
I was gonna ask,
Yeah, you're a final girl.
what do you think is our succession?
I'm the bitch that gets killed first. We know, but I've got a great scream. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, I feel like, no offense, Megan, I feel like you would get killed first because you would be like, "I'll go check it out.
Yeah,
I've got you,
that's
buddies."
true.
And then you would walk out and it'd be like,
Yeah.
What?
dead.
yeah,
And then like Molly, they have to
fair.
keep Molly in because she's screaming. You know, they got to keep the scream.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess maybe I think I would be last because I'm dumb.
No, you're
That's-
just saying
I
that.
actually
You're
don't ever
last
want you to
because
say
you're
that
like
yourself
logic.
again.
You're the one who wants to figure it out. So you're
Yeah.
the one in the library like
already
checking
done,
out books. You know how
so-
like you're like
Yeah.
in Candyman, like Virginia Madsen, like checking out books and like is
Yeah.
that who it was?
I don't know.
Sure. And like checking out books and like trying to figure out. I'm like,
It's
I don't
like
care. Like
the
I'm
last
like,
second,
just
I'm like,
scared.
I figured it out, and then I die.
I'd be like just sitting by you the whole time, just being like, don't leave me alone, please.
I'd be
I
like,
hope
Molly,
you guys are
you
mourning
have
me
to
because
sit
I
here.
would have been dead already. So
It depends on like how
We
much
are,
we're fighting
yeah.
for our own lives. I would mourn you later on if I survive.
Yeah, if you were
But
the
I don't
first,
think any of us are.
If you're the first, if you're like the Georgie of the movie, then yes, we're obviously mourning you. But if it's now like, you know, it's like an hour 40 into the movie and like it's part of the you're part of the deaths that keep happening. We're not thinking of you at that point just because like we're now like, oh
Yeah.
shit, something's after us.
fair,
Yeah.
fair.
Which brings me
But
to
I'll
The
think about you later.
Strangers. I forget
Okay.
about how scary that movie is all the time.
By the way, can I give you a an answer that you were asking recently that the chapter 2 or whatever
Yeah,
this
another
is,
series that doesn't need
is-
to keep getting made. But
You were right. It is a Tamara origin story.
No, here's the thing. I have to say this. The whole point of The Strangers, we're not supposed to know who
no,
Tamara
you're finding
is.
out
Is it-
apparently in these chapter ones.
I don't
You're
want
finding
to
out.
know.
No, it's not even Tamara.
If
Like you're
she's
finding
not wearing
out who
a pig
these
face,
people.
I don't want to see it.
If it's-
She'd be wearing a pig face.
Isn't that what she wears?
No, they don't know that. They just
No.
wear.
I'm
They
thinking
just
The
wear like
Purge or
white
something.
masks.
What
The
are you
Purge?
talking about? They
I
don't wear
swear
a
she
pig
wears
face.
a pig
That's
face.
your next.
No,
that's a
those
cat
are
mask.
cats and rabbits or whatever.
I'll look this up.
Penelope.
I knew it was gonna be Penelope.
She's not wearing a pig face, Alexa. She
No,
has
she
a
just
pig
is a
nose.
pig.
She
Yeah.
has a pig nose.
I've never heard of that. What are you guys talking about?
It's a movie with James McAvoy and Christina Ricci where Christina Ricci plays a girl that has a pig nose. Her name is Penelope.
Yeah.
No, go up. Wait, go to images.
Watching Alexa like search on the internet.
Why are they
What?
all hidden?
Oh my god.
I'll be
That's
fine.
that's not it. That's not
No.
it.
I
actually,
okay,
like,
let's
I
get
did
out of
not
this.
need to see-
I
Oh
don't
my
want to see
God.
this. I'm scared. I don't like this. Please
That's-
stop. Please stop. Please stop. What do you guys so my like oh go ahead into what you were gonna say, Alexa. Sorry.
Yes, what about The Strangers? You're
Just like I forget how scary
it's,
that movie was.
it's one of
And
the
I
scariest
was in
movies
the
to me.
hospital and my grandma
It's
was
great.
dying. And not to be like dramatic, but The Strangers was on, and I was sitting there watching it.
Oh god.
And I was like, "Oh my god! Like this is crazy."
It's terrifying. So I watched that, or I would see the previews for it, or whatever as a kid. That was another one my dad used to like look up. Anyway, it's terrifying because that's one where it's like, because it's real, like there are people, home
Yes.
invaders wearing masks is real.
And I love the answer where she's like, why? And they're like, because
you're home. I think is that what they said? Because
and
you're
now
home.
in every movie they're like, because you're here, because you're there. Like it's always like a
Yeah.
whole.
It's like,
And
yeah.
that was the first one I feel
It's
like
too
that
much.
did it. And like sometimes chaos I think doesn't need a like you know
I hate
murder
chaos,
doesn't need
so-
a reason.
Yeah.
No.
But
No, it doesn't. There is
very-
unfortunately with these chapter movies now, they're getting into the reasons. and it's like,
it goes back to what I'm saying.
too much.
It is too much. We don't need like that. I keep getting like so like oh like every time I see like here's something else coming out. Like here's the thing. I really like the Black Phone. Okay,
I
the
never
black
saw that.
The Black
I
Phone
never
was
saw it
good,
either.
but they're coming out the Black Phone too. And now
That looks,
I'm already
it actually
hearing.
looks really scary.
I'm hearing that it is scarier. Now
Yeah.
here's another one. Sinister, great movie.
Dude, Sinister
Great
was
movie.
actually
Yeah.
so scary.
And I was nervous to
expecting
see
that.
the second one because I was like, it's gonna ruin it. The second
Yeah.
one holds up.
Really?
But here's
Yes,
the thing.
second one holds up. The Sinister is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
It was terrifying.
Here's the
I saw it
thing though,
recently.
like so we all saw Long Legs together and I think it's a perfect example of how like these scary movies get like I know like you have to hype up a movie for people to go see it, but I think you shouldn't maybe do that with scary movies as much because
Definitely
they hype
not.
up these movies. They're like, this is the scariest movie of the year, this is horrifying.
Yeah.
And then you watch it and you're just kind of like, well, this isn't like I was expecting to be.
I thought Long Legs was actually very scary.
It was scary, and it tied in a little bit of that comedy piece, especially having Nicolas Cage. Like some of the
Yeah.
scenes where he's singing, it's like, what the fuck?
See,
Like,
I
in
didn't
the
think
chorus?
that was funny at all. Like I
Really?
was actually really the first scene where they show him when he
Yeah.
bends down.
That is scary.
That scared the shit out of me.
I think it was
That was a
scary
good movie.
until the end. And I think a good scary movie, like the ending really has to land it. Because that's what's going to make me recommend it. If I watch something and the ending doesn't like stick the landing, then I'm like, okay, well, what was the point of it?
kind
It
of
was
like
like
how I am.
basically where it was like all the dolls were like had possessed by the devil or something. It was something like where we all left it and we were just kind of like, that was a weird ending. But up
yeah,
until
once they
then-
got
Wait, Long Legs?
into demonic,
Yeah.
yeah, because like then they got into
the
like the
lady.
satanic stuff, yeah. Because
Yeah.
remember the whole thing is she's working for him. Sorry, spoiler if you haven't seen
Yeah,
Long Legs.
yeah.
Yeah.
The mom's working for Long Legs, and
dolls.
remember he made dolls, and she
Yeah.
would bring the dolls into the house. That's what caused them to.
yeah, I forgot about that.
You know
See,
what-
I liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you know what really gets me in horror movies? And I think, like, the first instance I saw this is, like, Rosemary's Baby, if you guys have seen that.
yeah.
Like, so I think it's when, you know, in Rosemary's Baby, you're with this main character the whole time. You're just as confused as her. You're like, what's going on? And at the end, or towards the end, she ends up just becoming they end up, like, you know, she's now gone or whatever. And you're, like, when you lose that main character, like you're
Yeah.
losing your comfort, like you're losing your sense of support, and like that's when it gets like very scary when you're just like, oh shit, I'm alone with these like people now. Like now the audience is like alone basically. And like I think that's like always really scary when horror movies do that, when you like lose the main character to the situation.
So that brings me to a question I was thinking of while we were talking. What like horror movie villain do you think you relate to the most?
Relate.
Yes. I'll go
would-
first, Carrie.
I would need you.
I
I would
was-
need y'all to answer that for me.
That's
I
why
have
Carrie's
no
a comfort horror movie for me. I'm not saying I get like Carrie White, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying like
I am.
they do a good job. And I read the book. I'm a huge Carrie fan, by the way. I know I said before, no adaptation can get it right. However, I do love the 1970s one because I think Sissy Spacek is just
That's the
amazing.
best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Sissy Spacek's beautiful, but I also do think there's something slightly unnerving about her, and I'm not quite sure what it is. So I guess like in that, like I don't know. They sort of get it right with her, but also Carrie's supposed to be overweight, like she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, Carrie I think is in some ways a relatable character because it's like the feminine rage or whatever. It's the good for her genre.
Yeah. I think if I had to predict for you, I could see like Misery, like I forget what's the main character's name?
Annie Wilkes.
Because the thing is like you love a good like series. You love like I could see like if you were like a loose screw, I could see you being like, Cillian Murphy, I'm gonna break your ankles if you don't do the next Peaky Blinders. Luckily you're normal, so
That's
like
fair.
I am,
Oh,
but
I
I
have
do. I see what you're saying. I almost could say it's the same for Megan a little bit, but I could see that for me too because
Game of Thrones, Megan is like, I'll fucking
kill
Well,
you.
for real with Game of Thrones, like I could see, I'm sure a lot of people would do that to him because it's like it's actually infuriating that he hasn't finished the series yet, and so I could see someone getting to that point of like, and how fun would it be to have somebody in your house and like they have to write this for you?
Yes, and you're like the first reader.
Yeah,
You're
that's
the
a
only-
really
yeah.
good
Great point, actually. I'm the more
Megan's
we,
like,
yeah.
too,
No,
know,
it's also
she's
kind of
like-
Megan too.
Yeah,
Who's
I could see
yours?
that.
I don't know. I
Yours
literally had
is
to look at the
Pearl.
list. I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Because you're a
Pearl.
star.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
a fucking star.
Yeah.
I'm married.
Yes, but
I'm married.
But like,
Yeah.
I honestly, okay, I need to say this. I need to shout out Alexa and Molly too because they got me the coolest birthday gift.
Oh.
It's literally like a set of 3 A24 like script books like of X, Pearl, and Maxine. Go
Our
ahead.
friendship is just us getting A24 script
No,
books for each
literally,
other.
though.
Yours
A24
is
sponsor us.
No,
yes, please.
God,
yours
Actually,
is
we'll pay
novelization.
you to sponsor us.
No,
Yes.
yes. Yours are novelizations. They're actually
Yeah.
just the books.
That's awesome.
And it made me laugh because when you were opening it, Molly was like laying on your bed. And she was like, "Can I borrow X? By the way, can I borrow X?" And then like the next day, you were like, you texted and you were like,
Wait.
"Can I borrow X?"
Wait. Did you?
I don't want to talk about that night.
It really
Oh,
made
it
me
was so
laugh.
fun.
And
I-
every time Megan was like, "Yes, of course, buddy. Yeah."
Oh, I didn't know I'd asked you. I thought I was asking you for the first time the next day when I
I
texted
didn't mean
you.
to
Oh,
shame.
no,
It just
no.
really made me laugh.
I didn't know. I asked you
No,
already.
I was opening them and you were like,
embarrassed.
so like, I know we did give it to you, but like,
Oh, I'm
bro,
so embarrassed.
X. I was like, sure.
I do want to read X.
Yeah, I'm
That is-
curious.
That is, I don't know what it is. I've like adopted those like 3 movies as my own, particularly X. I am becoming like a big Mia Goth stan. Like she's eccentric, she's weird. Like she's gonna be in Frankenstein. I'm
I know, I was
actually
gonna say
very
that.
excited.
She's playing 2 roles in Frankenstein.
Is she?
Really?
She's playing the mother, and she's playing what's his wife's name? We just were watching it downstairs.
I don't remember.
Is it Mary? No, it's not Mary.
Maybe it is.
Is it Mary Frankenstein? Because
It
like
might
Mary,
be.
I did Mary Shelley name her after.
Also, if you haven't watched Infinity Pool,
oh, I want to see
it
that.
is so
She's in
disturbing.
it.
It actually really upset me. I don't know why. It made me so unnerved. I love Alexander Skarsgård, but that movie really unnerved me.
I was
She's
gonna
scary in that.
Say earlier, it's shocking that Alexander Skarsgård has not played Frankenstein.
Interesting. He's the Northman.
Or sorry, I'm thinking of what's the other Skarsgård? Bill Skarsgård.
Oh, he just has played so
Because
many.
he's done enough.
But he does it so well.
He
We were
does it
watching
so
Nosferatu
well.
last night, and I was like,
Oh,
God.
Oh, can you imagine if he? No, I'm sure Jacob Elordi will be good. I actually
Yeah.
trust him a
I'm
lot.
excited for that.
I'm excited, but can you imagine if it was Bill?
I
It was supposed to be
know.
Andrew Garfield.
Bill.
I'm not gonna lie
It
to
was
you.
supposed to be Andrew Garfield.
I can't see
Oh
Andrew
yeah,
Garfield.
I can't see Andrew
I can't
Garfield.
see
Really?
that. Jacob
He's too
Elordi's
nice.
perfect.
He's too nice.
I mean, I guess
I was
Jacob
gonna say-
Elordi is nice too, but he can.
I think Jacob
He's-
Elordi's
Jacob
gonna be
Elordi
the
has
build.
a build.
Yeah, the build.
I think
for
I've said this
sure.
on a
Yeah.
previous podcast, but like Jacob Elordi was like built to have some bolts in his neck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like he's
And
just
now
got
he's
it.
going to.
He's just whereas like Andrew Garfield, I want him to put on a cardigan and like read me a scary story.
Yeah, he's still like Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
I can't unsee that.
And also watching Nosferatu, Chris made the point. I was like, yeah, where I'm like, I can't
I was
believe.
like, yeah.
Yeah. I was
He
like,
was like, yeah.
yes, sir. I was like, I can't believe Lily Rose Depp wasn't like really nominated for like didn't win anything for that. I'm like,
My Halloween costume.
she was incredible in
She
that
was.
film. Like her,
Yeah.
the way she's drooling is insane.
Yeah, she did transform herself. I think it was at least nominated. At least I sound like a Disney Channel
A little
character.
bit, yeah.
It was at
I
least
wanted it to
nominated
win.
for cinematography, which okay, good. But I also think it's never taken seriously. And Robert Eggers' movie, The Witch, is one of the most
Yeah.
incredible
Yes.
movies like ever. And I think like especially like in the horror genre. And I was saying this to you and friend of the pod Ty this morning. Sorry, but we were talking about The Substance because he asked us if we'd seen The Substance yet, which I don't know if you've seen, Megan. I didn't
I
like
think
it.
y'all told me I don't
It's
need
not
to.
scary, but I think it's
It's
like,
body horror.
yeah.
See,
But I
well,
didn't.
see,
I didn't
interesting.
like it. Everyone loved it and thought it was like the greatest movie ever, and especially with its theme. I get the theme, okay, but like it was nominated for a shit ton of Oscars, and I'm like, of all horror movies, Toni Collette should have won an Oscar for Hereditary.
absolutely.
It's crazy.
And it's so crazy that The Substance was the one. Demi Moore, I'm sorry,
Wait, did she win the Oscar for that?
No, but
she was
nominated.
not. She
Or
almost did.
Did she win the Golden Globe? She
And
won
everyone
something.
thought she
for
was
what?
going to.
For her, like, I don't know, pretending to eat a bunch of food? Like, what is
Yeah,
she
I
doing?
didn't think she
Yeah.
deserved
for
a
like watching
nomination
TV
for that.
in it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like she just is like, oh, I think I've made a mistake. That's it. That's all we
know.
got from her.
Well, and then but it's, to me, it's the makeup that really does the work in that movie. It's not her. Like,
Yeah.
I was so annoyed that of all horror, and everyone's like, this is huge for the horror genre, that's the substance is getting recognized.
it's not. It
And
didn't
I'm like,
scare me at all. Like,
and also it just shouldn't have been. Other movies, The Witch,
yeah, and
The
like
Lighthouse.
Is
I
it
don't know.
supposed to be
Yeah.
a horror
Midsummer.
movie?
it's
I
body
know.
horror.
It's body horror.
Body horror.
Which, okay,
Interesting.
I never replied to your
together.
text, Ty. Sorry, I plan to do that. But I know, like, he had the opposite reaction where he, like, didn't like the movie until the end.
Yeah.
And I was, like, fine with the movie until the end where I'm like, okay, so she becomes this giant blob that is just squirting blood everywhere. And I was like,
That does
gross.
not
I
sound
was like,
interesting
I just
whatsoever.
I don't like in my horror, I don't like gross stuff in my horror movie. I like hauntings. I love spooky stuff. I don't care about blood, guts, and, like, you know what I mean?
So this kind of brings me to a question, is like, what is your guys' favorite, like, what is your guys' least favorite and then favorite genre? Like, I can start, because my least favorite is like torture porn or anything like that. Like, I don't like the Saw movies. I don't like Terrifier. I thought I would want to watch Terrifier.
Is that the
'cause
clown one?
It is.
Yeah.
Well, he's a clown, and I was like, he's terrifying looking. It is the
Yeah.
most disgusting
It's-
movie.
They're bad
on
movies,
that.
but they're also like really gross.
I think I would enjoy it if it weren't for the torture porn, because it seems like a
Yeah.
fun movie, but I don't
Yeah.
want to watch all that. I do not like that kind of stuff.
Same. I don't like torture. I don't like gore. I
Yeah,
like
gore.
again, sight unseen. I like things where it's like, what's that spookiness in the darkness? What's that? Like, and the art of a good jump scare is really hard to master, because if you're doing it too much, then it's
Yeah.
like whatever. But like every now and then, a good jump scare. I love a little Victorian setting. I love
Gothic.
I love a haunted house, but
Yeah.
done well. You know, like, not a stupid thing. Like, that's why I love Paranormal Activity, which we'll get into. But
I hate the previews too for horror movies, and it's like, this is how the Conjuring movies always are, where it's like, it's just loud. Like, it's just loud, and then you know that by the end of the movie it's gonna be loud and just yelling and loud, and I'm like, I can't stand
I
that.
was watching 28 Days Later downstairs, and I didn't know Chris was taking a nap in the room next door. And actually, I did, but I didn't alter my behavior at
Yeah.
all. And anyways, the way they spoke was so soft,
And then it'd be loud.
and then it would be zombies screaming. And Chris came in. He was like, I was trying to take a nap. He was like, why do you have the volume on 52? And I was like, I can't hear what they're fucking saying.
But that's
one.
one thing. It's the exorcism movies where they're like, and it's
Yes.
just like
Yeah.
super
The
loud.
First,
I'm
when
like,
I was a kid, The Exorcism of Emily Rose really got me.
That's
And
a great
again,
movie.
It
I
is.
will say.
And I think
seen
it was.
It's good.
Everyone
If
always
you've
says
ever
that.
experienced sleep paralysis, I probably said this on the pod before, but like I really
movie
like
scares the
the
shit
first time
out
I
of
had
me.
sleep paralysis, I was in my little queen bed in my room, and I literally was like, "Oh my god, I'm possessed." I was like, "God, I know I'm not religious, but please, like, I'm praying to you now. Like, please don't let me be possessed." Shocker, I had sleep issues. That followed me for the rest of my life, much like a demon. But now, like, exorcism movies don't scare me as much because they've done them so much. Where I'm just like, I don't care about this woman, like, you know, gyrating
I don't
on a
either.
doll. You
That's
know what
not
I mean?
scary to me. What's okay?
Sexual stuff is not scary to me.
No.
I literally am sitting here trying to think of what I don't like, because here's the thing. Torture porn stuff, it's really gross. I literally watched Terrified
Yeah,
the
they're
other night for
comfort.
fun.
Yeah.
I know your answer.
Like, do you know what I mean? Please tell me.
You don't like. So I think what we're saying that we like sometimes is like things. Well, at least for me, and I think you're the same way, where it's like slow and like kind of like build
Yes.
story build, and like the horror
Yeah.
is in the like tension and the unknown and sort of the environment. Like, I love folk horror. I don't think you love folk horror.
It's not my favorite, but I also, and that just reminded me, I can tell you I'm not a fan. I'm not attracted to like zombie films.
Oh, zombies don't scare me.
I can
really.
tell you that. Like,
same.
but then but see, I say that and I'm like immediately retracting. Like, I remember like the original Night of the Living Dead was one of the first movies my dad ever showed me, because it's filmed in a cemetery near
Great
where
movie
he's from.
though. I
And it's a
watched
great
it
movie.
recently. It's actually a very, very good
I like
movie.
they're coming to get you, Barbara. Like, I remember watching it. I was like, oh shit. But like, it's weird. Like, what I say I don't like, I can still find something in that category I like. But I can tell you, I don't like movies like Insidious when it gets to the end and for me, I'm disappointed because the movie has tried to build up to this scary character and then it looks like shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I remember watching the first Insidious. I have not seen any others. Maybe 2. I don't even know how many Insidious movies there are. Again,
And I thought Insidious was scary.
Way
The
too
first
many
one.
movies.
Yeah.
Like, way too many. It's way too many Insidious, way too much The Conjuring. It's done.
Way too much.
Yes, but for
Yeah.
me, I see like a creature. I'm building in my head. I'm like, all right, we're building up. This is scary as shit. This creature, whatever, is gonna be so scary. It's the same with like the Nun in The Conjuring.
I couldn't stand the Nun.
That shit's
like
not
all of that.
scary. It was
Annabelle.
like, I'm not-
I don't care about all that.
That's not scary to me. Like, that's why like I go back on like some of my favorite horror films are like The Exorcist, Halloween, The Shining. Like that traditional. The Shining is great. The Shining is great, and like that's not even like one of my favorite types of like horror, but like I know I like psychological. I like psychological horror. I can type there.
Yeah,
That's my
psychological
answer.
horror. My
I like
parents always
psychological
liked,
horror.
too.
Yeah.
But then I
same
can
with my
say-
parents.
but
my
then,
mom
like-
loves her teen slashers.
Yeah.
I love like I do like the older slashers. 'Cause I'm like, damn, those are just classics.
Sorry, just that statement.
My
mom loves
no,
her
she
teen
does. She'll
slashers.
tell you she loves a good, like, if it's about a high school group of kids
So,
going
like,
to
Scream.
a cabin or something.
Yeah. Because the thing is, they're always
Yeah.
kind of relatable because the high school group of kids is always like,
Or
it's
college.
dumb.
Yeah.
But they're always like, yeah, I know exactly who that would
House
be.
of Wax.
It's because they
That's
have
a
the
great-
archetypes.
Yeah.
House of Wax I love.
House
it's
of
so
Wax is so
stupid,
good.
but it's great.
And I forgot to add, okay, I'm sorry, this is like off the beaten path for a hot second, but like earlier we talked about kids. I forgot to add this to the list. Orphan is one of the scariest movies I've seen.
Orphan, it didn't scare me, but it
didn't
stuck
scare
with
me, but it's good.
It was.
Do you guys see the sequel? They made it.
No.
See,
We
no.
watched that one.
I
It's
won't
interesting.
watch those.
It's not scary,
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I won't watch those.
but it was
Like,
a little
it's
bit of
so-
a waste of time.
And here's the thing is like I think there's a difference between this is scary and this is disturbing. Like I
Oh,
think
fair.
of like I love Midsummer and Hereditary, but I wasn't
I would
like
say those are disturbing.
scared.
I think
was-
Hereditary actually is very scary.
Really?
I
There's
would
some-
watch it
it
again.
wasn't
She is banging her head on the thing.
Yeah.
That scared me
Oh.
so bad.
It scared me, but I would say it would more so disturb me,
Yeah.
where it's like one of those things where
Because
I
they're
remember
making
like
you uncomfortable.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like I will like just be on a run on a beautiful spring day, and I'll just see Toni Collette slicing her head
Oh,
open.
please
with
stop.
a-
Please, okay, stop.
You know
I
what I
haven't
mean?
seen. I actually haven't seen that movie since it came out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go home and watch Hereditary
Yeah.
because I literally.
Oh, it's
don't...
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. I remember seeing it and I was like, oh wow, this.
It's
is
upsetting. I
great.
can't watch the way I can watch Midsummer over and over. I can't watch Hereditary.
Really?
Over. Yeah.
And the thing is,
too
it's
dark.
like I think it's very dark, but I would say it's like it did something different to me than something like Weapons did. Do you know what I mean?
It's also the music they use in Hereditary. Did you know? So they use the song in it is called Reborn. There's a song that's on the soundtrack called Reborn, and it's at the end. And I guess there's a thing in the Bible where it's like when there's like it's something about the trumpets. Like there's trumpets that they use in the song that is how that's like how it's explained that like the reckoning happens or something. I don't know.
interesting.
Not the reckoning, but like something where it's like the use of the horns in that song is like very
I
real,
can't
and I can't remember what it is, but it's something to do with the Bible. It's like very scary.
Interesting.
I think the one thing from Hereditary that I can remember the most, I do remember the end. I was like, "What's going on?" But that's again, I need to rewatch it. But
It's
the
a
scenes,
lot, yeah.
the scenes, the clucking sound.
Oh yeah.
That in the classroom. I think when he's sitting in the classroom and I think he just hears it. I think I'm if that's what I'm remembering from the scenes. I'm just like, oh,
When
But-
someone
oh,
bangs
that's
their
good.
head against something
Yeah. I don't
really
remember
hard,
that.
he bangs his head, and he ends up like, and they show it. His hand goes up. He does that thing.
Yeah.
oh
and he
yeah.
goes, like,
I'm sorry. When you say that, that
Yeah.
reminds me of Talk to Me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
I was thinking
Talk
about
to Me
Talk-
was very scary.
I didn't think it was scary, but I thought
that-
it was unique.
It was
I
very
liked the-
disturbing.
but I
when the kid
loved-
when the kid was like
Yeah.
physically hurting himself. Oh
that
my
was
God.
scary. We loved It Follows, but you didn't like that. And I
No,
think
count
just
me
the
out.
idea again, like I think
Oh,
we
it's
But that
so
goes to your-
scary. They
that goes-
show.
again,
It's not
it's
even
like-
unknown. They show.
That
Scary
goes to
stuff
your
in
point
that.
of like the slow.
Yeah, you don't
build-up,
like the
which-
slow-
the
yeah.
just
despair.
like being here, like imagine just sitting here and you
somebody's
just
walking.
someone is walking slowly in the distance towards you.
That's
and
terrifying.
You
It
know
is.
that they're coming to you, and you have to always be alert. Like you can't sleep
Yeah.
because it's like someone's coming to you.
And they also do show them at some points. Remember when at one point there's a guy behind her in the doorway, and he's
Yeah.
like cute, he's tall.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
It's so scary. It is I thought it was.
Give it another try.
I was
And
just gonna
that's one of those
say
things,
I'll watch
like-
that again. I haven't seen. I because see, here's my thing is I'm so like
I own it on Blu-ray
opinionated.
if you want it.
I'm so opinionated to the point where it's like if I see one thing once and I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
oh,
are,
God,
yeah.
I'm like, nope, I like write it off, which I should
Yeah.
never do.
And
I
that's-
shouldn't do.
And I think that's the thing with like these horror movie sequels is like the thing about good horror is it's got to get you. It's got to be something new and fresh because once you've been exposed to
That's
something,
fair.
it takes away the fear, which is
Yeah.
literally like exposure therapy type of
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean?
That's The Strangers for me because I don't find The Strangers scary anymore because there's been so many damn movies.
I'm
and now
saying,
I'm like,
they're
I know
making
who
too
half
many.
of them are now. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not scared of them because I know like who they are. And
Yeah.
that's taken
They
away
made-
the scariness.
They made like recently, like I like went to go see. Listen, I would not go see this if my mom and I weren't just looking for something to see on a Friday night. But we went to go see the new like I Know What You Did Last Summer when it came out. I mean, I knew it was gonna be dumb. I knew it was gonna be stupid. But it makes me mad because the first one,
It's
the
my
first one
favorite.
is so good.
It's one of
So
my
then
favorites.
Do not go see that.
I know my
remake.
mom wanted,
Yeah.
I didn't tell you this,
Do
but my
not.
mom wanted to watch it the other day.
I wouldn't.
and,
It's so annoying.
We ended up watching Bring Her Back. But she wanted to watch that, and I was like, Megan said she and her mom like hated it.
no,
They said
my
it
mom
was so
liked it,
dumb.
but she doesn't really. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's interesting because horror, and probably the same thing again with comedy, but I think especially horror has this like fine line about like this is scary versus this is stupid.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I think and it's like interesting because again, everything is subjective, but I think like as a society wise, like usually we come to a general consensus on like whether something is actually scary versus stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, like, what do you think it is that like skates that fine line versus of scared stupid? You know,
That's a good question. I think I would need to hear your answer to help me craft an answer.
I mean, you've
this
got,
is all
like-
straight off the dome.
You've
so.
got like camp stuff, like you have like the Leprechaun. I obviously think that's stupid and not
Yeah.
scary, if that's what you mean.
Yes.
But I also just think things that are
Like
like,
Chucky too. Like
yeah.
okay,
But those
fair.
have their place in horror. I'm not mad
Yeah.
at them. Like
Yeah, I like
think-
Chucky. I
I
like
think
the
in some
original.
ways those are good movies. You know,
Yeah.
not Leprechaun in the Hood or whatever it's called. Like
Not
we
in the
went
Hood.
we went
I
too
didn't
far.
know they made that.
They did. I found that out today.
Wow. Is
but-
Jennifer Aniston in that one too?
No.
I listen. You know me.
No,
I
she's
haven't
definitely
seen.
not.
I haven't,
I don't know
I
why
haven't
I
seen past the
hesitated on
first
that.
one. I haven't seen past the first
Yeah.
one.
But then I mean, I'm trying to think of like stupid. Or I mean, like there's like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Like that's
Oh,
so
yeah.
stupid.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like that's stupid.
Or even like
What? Like-
Megan was
Oh, Megan,
interesting
yeah.
because
Yes.
it was
But it's
it was
camp.
Oh, perfect.
But what's
I'm glad
camp
you
and
said
what's
that.
horror?
I'm glad you said that.
Well, I don't think anyone would
The-
ever find Megan horrifying, like
Yeah.
horror
I don't know. Like because maybe we have a higher
or horror
standard.
comedy. Yeah,
I'm not
A
expecting
lot.
you guys to like
Depends
know,
on what
but-
people think are scary. Some people are afraid of dolls, and then that, like, I'm not
Yeah.
afraid of dolls at all. But some people think,
Yeah.
like, if they're afraid of dolls or AI or something, like Megan would be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are really afraid. Like, people think A Quiet Place is scary. I would never. I love A Quiet Place. I think it's
Yeah.
a fantastic movie.
I need to see the first one. We saw like the third or something in theaters, and I'd never seen.
Oh, you
Yeah.
never saw the first
With
one?
Lupita
The first,
Nyong'o.
yeah, that was the
Oh,
third
yeah.
one.
never
All
saw the
three of
others.
them are good. I just don't think they're scary because
It's
I'm
like
not afraid
what
of
I would
that.
call survival thriller,
They're
which I
suspenseful.
think are suspenseful. I
Yeah.
think they're like entertaining and I enjoy them, but they're not. I'm not going to that when I'm like, ooh, it's a dark and stormy night and I want to be
Right,
scared.
but some people are literally afraid of like A Quiet Place. They're like so scared of the monsters.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mine is as far as what I think is like really scary is like doppelgangers. So like Us
Oh,
scared
yeah.
the shit out of me.
That
when
is
it
a
came
great
out.
movie.
But no one else really found it that scary.
I thought it was very
That was
scary, but
Great
again,
cast.
it's the
Yeah.
ending. If they don't like the
Oh.
plot
Yeah, the ending
it
holes
made
and
no
the
Right.
ex-
sense. The plot holes
it,
ruined
it
that movie.
really like I was like, never mind, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Like what do you mean it's hands across America?
well, not
Shut
only
up.
that, but it made no
Yeah.
sense that she was the one. Like,
It just
Yeah.
there were so
made
many
no sense.
things.
I will like y'all mentioning Megan like reminded me of like when you like that like stupid like that treads the line for me like
Mm-hmm.
see I really like Blumhouse. I really like that production company, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of movies in
Yeah,
that
that's
in
hit or
there
miss for
that
sure.
I
Yeah.
am literally like what the hell, like they literally released a movie about an AI machine
mm-hmm.
in the house that
Yeah.
made you do
Yeah.
bad things, and I'm like, what? And like, I think you may like
That's
this movie,
stupid.
but Five Nights at Freddy's, get out
Oh
of here.
no, I don't. I
Oh, I
watched.
thought you
Yeah,
did.
we watched it, but I
I'm
didn't
like, and
because I didn't even play the game. Like I don't care about that.
Oh, see, I didn't even know. I keep forgetting it's a game. Like I
Yeah.
see stuff like that, and I'm like, I'm like, why are we making these?
That
Why are we
actually
making these
could be
movies?
scary if people are afraid of
Yeah.
animatronics. That
And
would be
people
scary,
might be
but-
like, for me, I'm like, look, give me a good give me a good slasher, like something that's gonna make me uncomfortable, something
Yeah.
psychological, like that stuff. I'm like, that's a waste of time.
Give me a good horror movie. Give me Wicker Man,
Yeah.
Never
Blood at
seen
Satan's
that.
Claw. Like, please.
And here's also like I think that draws a fine line, and I think this is the same with like honestly all like art or whatever, is like I think about Tim Burton and when he did like Pee-wee's Adventure or whatever, and I'm like, this is great because the thing is not a big budget, so you have to be creative,
Yeah.
you know. And there's like these episodes of Doctor Who that are like really spooky, where it's like there's these shadows that like eat creatures or whatever, and they're like creatures that eat things, and all you see is like they'll throw like a piece of meat and it comes back like a bone or whatever, and it's because like they didn't have a budget, so they're like, what can we make that's like the cheapest, scariest thing? Or there's one like episode of Doctor Who that I used to think was so scary.
This is the Angels one or whatever.
That one is scary, but this is different because this is literally
I
like
always
the
talk about that.
cheapest you could make it. They're on like a basically what
Why
like
would
an
they need to
airplane
be cheap? Don't they? Aren't they a huge show?
back when they first like in the
Oh,
early
okay,
2000s.
gotcha,
Not
gotcha.
really. And
Gotcha.
it basically is like they're on an airplane that like doesn't. It's a spaceship that like it's stuck in space, and like this quote unquote alien is invading, but it's invading your mind. And how it does is it's like slowly like someone starts repeating everything you're saying
Oh,
until they
that's
like
really
match
scary.
pace, and then suddenly they're saying what you're saying before you say it. How cheap is that to make? And yet absolutely it was very scary. It like really stuck
That's
with you.
very interesting.
However, I think if it can also go the like I think like sometimes cheapness like really builds creativity, but then also some people will do things where it's like, well, now I'm creating a cheap monster. Like again, I think like again we're on the same level. Like I don't like to see it. I like to be like what's in the shadows.
Well, it's fun to get. So we have Shudder, which is like, so
Oh,
I think it's
yeah.
a little bit of a waste of money, but at the same time, you can find some really scary stuff on there.
Yeah.
I have learned that the scarier the picture looks, the thumbnail, especially on Netflix, the less scary it is. Like that
fair.
always tricks us. But there's one like if you're talking about low budget horror movies, they're all on Shudder, and there's one called Daddy's Head, and it was one of the horrible name, but it was one of the scariest movies like I've ever seen. It was so uncomfortable
I don't think
to watch.
I've seen that.
No, it's like a super like
I've heard of it though.
indie
It's on
like
Netflix.
is it?
I think.
It might be, but it was definitely on Shudder, and that's where we watched it, and it was so scary.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, so I'm curious if you guys have seen like some low budget horror movies that you recommend, because that one I don't recommend it to Megan, but I do
After
recommend
reading
it.
that
Yeah,
synopsis,
yeah.
won't be
No,
right.
don't. But
That one,
but it was very, very scary.
Interesting.
I always
Oh,
give
his
Matthew
face. Oh my
credit
God.
for that one movie that he made. What was it called? Like something in the night or something like that?
We
Out
did-
of Darkness.
yeah.
And the thing is, it was like scary while you were watching it because it's like literally these Neanderthals just in the dark, like running
Yeah.
around. And the amount of I don't know if I texted you this or not, but I was like, I want Matthew to know that I stayed up till like 1:30 in the morning, like maybe a month
Researching,
ago, looking up like the difference between Neanderthals and Homo sapiens, and like
Is that how we should be pronouncing Neanderthals? I
yes,
thought
it
was
is.
a-
It's Neanderthal.
Oh, I've always said
I actually
thals.
don't.
That
like
sounded
Can I
really
s-
condescending of
No,
me.
can I
Totally
still
did.
can I still say Neanderthal? Because I don't like that. That's
I don't like it
never
either,
said it
but
like that.
someone
Neanderthal.
corrected me once.
Neanderthal.
Well, who?
Can
What?
I say
They
something?
shouldn't have.
Actually, hold on. The way that you mentioned that's another genre in itself. You have movies like
We don't have enough cavemen movies.
Yeah, you have movies like Wrong Turn, The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh my god,
excuse
those are
me.
upsetting.
The Hills Have Eyes is one of the most upsetting movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I
those
actually
are
don't like
bad.
watching that at all. Wait, say it again.
Neanderthal.
I actually don't like that.
I remember I like
Neanderthal.
learned that in like
Respectfully, can
in
I please
school at
say
one point.
Neanderthal?
Yeah,
Yeah, I hated that actually.
it's spelled like that. Anyways, but yes,
Yeah, Wrong Turn, The Hills Have Eyes. I mean, my
Yeah.
God, those are just
those
sick.
are upsetting.
I want some more like Native
The
American
Descent.
horror
Don't get me
Yes.
started.
because I think there's some.
Well, there's a
stuff
lot to that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So to get into like camp versus horror, Megan has watched a show recently that neither of us have watched.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just curious your take on the Ed Gein?
Ed Gein.
Ed Gein
I forgot
show.
we're talking because I'm like I've heard about this so much
I know.
today.
I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's fine.
Yeah. So I thought this was a good like topic of discussion, just for like the consensus of our entire diet pop, but also like the third installment of the Monster series that Ryan Murphy created did come out on October 3rd, and like got to give it some time to digest among the masses, of course, because this is very disturbing. But
Ryan Murphy's Monster Show, which each season covers different.
yes.
There's supposed to be serial killers,
I guess,
but yeah.
different types of monsters, in quotes.
Yeah.
I mean, because the first installment
I
was
would
Jeffrey
love
Dahmer.
Never mind. I was gonna say I would love an episode on Ryan Murphy, but anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
listen,
He should have his own season.
I would love to know what goes on in that man's mind.
Problematic king.
Yeah, seriously. Then you had, he came out with the Menendez brothers one last year. And then he decided to take on the story of one of the, I don't even know if he's one of the most notorious, like, because he.
No, I had
he
never
only-
heard of him, actually.
Ed Gein did not, Ed Gein Ed Gein murdered 2 women, but he was most known for, he was a body snatcher. Like, he would go to grave sites and dig up bodies, and he would take parts of their bodies and their skin and create lamps, chairs, pieces of furniture, skin masks, because he was looking for people that resembled his mother.
You had like a weird relationship.
Wasn't he
Yes.
the inspiration for Norman Bates a little
He
bit?
was
Norman
the
Bates,
inspiration
also
for like everything and their mother.
Halloween as well, right? Or no, sorry, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes. So, yes, the Ed Gein's crimes inspired movies like Psycho. His crimes inspired the character of Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Right,
He
right.
literally
Yeah.
wears like
Yeah.
women's skin or human skin or something. Texas Chainsaw. My issue. So here's the thing. Charlie Hunnam hopefully will be in the Emmy conversation at least at some point for this, because he did so well portraying Ed Gein. But I always hope going into something like this that Ryan Murphy isn't going to like glamorize these horrendous people, because regardless of whatever like mental things Ed Gein had going on, there is no remorse for that. Like, there is no remorse. He was eventually diagnosed with schizophrenia. He died of lung cancer in a mental institution. But like at the end of the some parts of this show were really good, but the end was what really killed me, because I mean, again, spoiler, but I mean, if you read about Ed Gein, you'll know this, but he dies of lung cancer. And at the end of the show, and I won't harbor too much on this, but at the end of the show, there is a scene where he's in a wheelchair. He's nearing death. He's entering this dreamlike state. And then these characters who are portraying different serial killers, if you want to call Charles Manson a serial killer, he did not commit any of the crimes himself, actually. But anyway, but like a character
sue
that
us,
plays
Charles Manson.
yeah, well, he's dead, thank God.
I know. I'm just,
At least I think he is, right?
Yeah.
So like a character that's portrayed by, like, it's supposed to be Charlie Manson comes up. There's a character that is supposed to portray like Ed Kemper. All these different serial killers are coming up to Ed Gein in this dreamlike state, basically saying like, "Oh man, like I did this, like I killed my parents, or I did this, and I killed my wife, and I killed all these people," like basically applauding him for what he's done. And it's very
That's so
unsettling,
cringe.
and it is weird. And I'm a little disappointed in Ryan Murphy for this, because I'm like, oh no, you actually are ending this show like really kind of wanting the audience to feel bad for Ed Gein, because I don't. This man was nuts. Okay, he was crazy. He claims he doesn't know what he was doing at any time. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know."
I mean, at first, watching the first episode, I did think that. I was kind of like, oh, he does belong in an asylum.
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
in a
deemed
hospital
unfit to stand trial. That's
right?
why
Because I was like, I don't think he knows what he's doing is wrong. Other people were arguing that today, though. They were
Yeah.
like, I think he definitely did, because he's hiding it. So therefore, he does know
Yeah.
what's wrong. But at first, I was like, I wasn't sure, because by the way, he does kill his brother, so that's somebody else he kills.
Yeah, so that was apparently never actually proven. It was
Okay.
never proven, but it is because his brother died.
They take so many liberties in these shows.
His brother, this part is true. Like, his brother was talking about like running away from the family home, and Ed, who was so tied up and so like, kind of obsessed with his mom, was like, "How dare you ever leave the family?" And it just so happened that his brother's body was found like burned in a fire.
Okay, that got me and Matthew, by the way.
just so happened.
No.
Yeah,
He wasn't burned in a fire. So he starts the fire. So you'd think that Ed Gein starts a fire, and you'd think that like he would, in the show, I'm saying, he started the fire because he killed his brother in the show.
Right.
And so it's like he's starting the fire,
Yes,
so then
in the show he
his
does
brother
kill him.
would just burn in the fire. No, he's not in the fire. They just
Yeah.
find his body, and he has like an injury on the back of his head. I'm like, why didn't you just burn the body?
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
Yeah.
Think about, and I know like you love American Horror Story, but I think you would agree with this because we've talked about it before. Ryan Murphy has like really great like concepts and like
Yeah.
I think the show is very interesting, but he never knows how
He
to.
doesn't
finish
know
it.
how to stick with it.
I would agree with that.
He
for
makes
sure.
way too many things and then I don't think he continue. I think he always writes the first episode and then other people
gives
write
it off
the
to like
rest.
yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
That's why I fell off with American Horror Story. I was so into it. For
I
the
don't
first
care about
3
it now
seasons.
that it's like Kim Kardashian, because now Kim
Yeah, I'm
Kardashian is
done.
like working with him, and I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
I'm so
we're
done.
not.
And I just
what are we doing with
Please
that?
get her out of everything ever.
She can't really act. I don't care
No.
how hard. I think she's
She
hardworking,
can't
but I
do
don't.
anything except.
Well, she's hardworking, but
Sorry.
she's a great entrepreneur. But I don't think she's on the acting level to lead a show yet.
no.
But
Definitely
she's been
not.
doing that with him.
And that's
so.
one of the things about Ryan Murphy where I'm like, again, these concepts are interesting. I think like he brings too many things into it, but also like the only camp thing I've ever liked is like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
So good.
But besides that,
I haven't
I'm like,
watched that
if
yet this season.
If the acting is bad, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And I knew he like for that new like what's like the Kennedy show that he's doing, he cast this actress who I've said on this podcast where I was just like I stopped watching a show before that she was in because she was such a bad actress, and I said, of course he cast her.
Yeah.
But then he has them up against like Chloe Sevigny.
Sarah Paulson.
Yes.
Sometimes the acting, like we were talking about American Horror Story, and like I was like, to me, it's one of my favorite shows like ever, and it's because like the first few seasons, especially,
They hold up.
they are some of the acting, because they have amazing actors in them. Say what you will, they're very Ryan Murphy. They can be camp, but part of them is actually they're very good, and the acting is like incredible.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me, actually, in Asylum, they did a whole Ed Gein storyline because remember Zachary Quinto's character, he was the doctor, and he
yeah.
made lampshades out of skin.
I don't remember. I have not watched
sorry,
Asylum
spoiler,
in
but
so
Yeah.
long.
he becomes he.
I'm gonna go restart all that.
That's
Oh, I
the
won't
show
tell-
me
okay.
your mossy banks.
Oh my god, the
season.
greatest line of all of
Yes,
TV
that's
history.
Chris's favorite line. He was so excited when I was watching the season is in Asylum when like I forget what his character is.
It's
Uncle
Dr. Arden.
Yeah.
Uncle
Ewan from Succession, and he like has a
Oh.
prostitute with them, and he just goes, "Show me your mossy bank."
It's the greatest line of all time.
and
What?
it's
I don't remember this.
insane.
It's so
but
funny.
I haven't seen
like
it in years.
with the Ed Gein
so
show,
good.
when you showed or when you were talking about the end, like I
Yeah.
I thought about watching it, and then as soon as Molly was like, "I can't do this, it's disgusting," I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, that's fine." I'm
Which
good
that's
on
a lot
that.
coming from me because
Yeah.
you know I'll watch.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I thought they were great, but
Yeah.
something about this one just really disturbed
You
me.
know what's interesting is like when we were talking about the Pit is I think like we have opposite squeamishness where
Yeah.
like if it's a horror I think you can handle like squeamish stuff, whereas like stuff like the Pit where I'm like, oh, like their bone is sticking out of their leg.
So
in
I
the
don't,
hospital.
I don't like
like
any
that
kind of
stuff.
artery thing. I've always said, I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but like I've seen the Human Centipede, and the thing that
Yeah.
bothered me most from that movie is the part where she wakes up in the hospital bed and rips the thing out of her vein.
Oh my god, yes. There's a scene in the show called Evil where he keeps
That was the
ripping
worst
his
part to me.
IVs out,
Okay,
and I had
oof.
just like recently had them, and I was
Yeah,
like,
that
ah!
makes me feel
But
so.
I think I'm
sick.
like
I
the
can't do
opposite
that.
where I'm
And
like,
that's all the Pit is, right? Like
Yes,
it's
yeah,
just
yes,
all
that's
that.
why I don't want to watch that.
But-
I don't like medical stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have more of a tolerance for it if it's in horror a little bit more, where I almost have less of a tolerance if it's in horror, where I'm just like, I don't want to see any gore. And then
not
when
if
you,
it's like that though.
I can
when
watch-
you followed up
Yeah.
with how the show ended, I was like, I'm good. I'm truly good on
that
that.
just sounded stupid.
When it comes
Yeah.
to gore and stuff, though, I can watch just about anything except for like teeth and needles.
Ugh.
Like
Oh,
if you're getting your
yeah.
teeth, oh no.
Teeth freak me out.
And then again, see, I say that, and then like I watch the Terrifier movies for fun. So it's like, and those movies are disgusting.
But he uses, I'm weird
So-
with knives too. I don't like knives. I don't like cutting, like anything like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
like, and I
definitely-
know the Terrifier does
Definitely
all that.
don't watch those ever,
Terrifier,
yeah.
ever.
Oh, you know what I want more of though? Matthew and I were just talking about. Have you guys ever seen the movie Bone Tomahawk?
No.
No.
Oh,
I have-
Megan, watch it. It is so good. It's legit good. It has Kurt Russell.
I have to watch Infinity Pool too.
Okay, guys, put Bone Tomahawk on your list. I would call it a
Bone-
horror. It's like a Western horror though. And Matthew and I were saying they should make more Western horrors.
Yeah. You know what we both forgot to put on the list is Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, I love Late Night with the Devil. No, it's so
What?
good.
I thought it was so unique. It was such
It's
an
so unique.
interesting
It's
The
fine,
ending-
but not for a top 20, like, of all time. Like, yeah, sure, and like maybe like 30s, 40s, like number 30s, 40s, whatever. But
I think our list was a little loosey-goosey, though.
I think it's a really good list, honestly.
I think it's good,
I
but I
think it's a
think you
great
can
list.
tell like where each of us are coming from in our horror.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
So, should we get into it? So, we should clarify. We did post, like, asking you guys to tell us what your top 10 was based on our list that we posted on Instagram, and we got, like, a bunch of different answers. I think we weren't, like, clear on it. So, just FYI, we're just going to post our top 10 on
Yeah, we love you all.
Instagram.
But I will say, can I, like, go through people's,
Yeah.
like, things of what they
Yes.
said?
Because I'm
we don't-
curious.
Yeah. So, people did say It, the original.
Mm.
We got some Nightmare on Elm Street, Alien, The Ring, Black Phone, Poltergeist. We got some The Grudge. We
Wow.
got The Shining, Psycho, again Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's a big variety.
Carrie, which I meant to add that on the list myself, but the 1970s Carrie.
Oh, we definitely should be up there.
The Conjuring, Jeepers Creepers, which you
That's
like
great.
Jeepers
Oh,
Creepers.
yeah.
I've never seen that.
I wouldn't. Right,
You-
I don't
I
think,
think
it's scary
campy. It's
anymore.
like,
yeah.
I think you would like that.
It,
I
like,
know,
really-
I've heard.
It borders on the edge. I'd say give it a watch. Like
I
when I,
think
was
you should.
younger, I
Justin
thought
Long
it was.
is
I was
kinda
gonna say it's
goofy.
Justin Long.
Yeah.
I think you would. I think, and this, you guys will never hear me say this. Jeepers Creepers 2 is better than the first.
Interesting.
Apparently, it was a third. I won't watch
yeah.
it.
We also got Cabin in the Woods, Barbarian. Cabin in the Woods, I didn't think like that's a
I
good
don't-
meta movie, but it's
Yeah.
not scary. But it's
I
a good.
I had the first like 20 minutes on TV and I didn't finish it.
It's a good horror. Like it's one that like I saw and I was like that was good, but I'll never watch it again probably. But it's like a well-made movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's more meta. It's more funny than anything.
Okay.
Because it's like it's making fun. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, but I think, and also I do want to clarify from our list, if you saw, it was not in order, because I think a lot of people were also freaking out
Yeah.
about our order,
Yeah.
and that's not what it was.
We haven't
So-
decided yet how to order them. I don't know if we're gonna be able to like decide amongst ourselves what the order should be. So we'll see.
Well, I would
It's
be
so hard for me to make lists.
Yeah. Well, here I'm curious to know this because I feel like I haven't even asked you guys this.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think is the scariest movie of all time?
I don't know
Of
if I can
all
answer
time.
that.
All time.
Let me look at our list because I know I'm gonna.
Because
forget.
mine is The Exorcist. Like,
Maybe
there
mine
is
is
no
the-
movie that surpasses the fear of, in my opinion.
The original It, I would never be able to like watch by myself.
That's
so
a-
I
that's
would
a great
I would
choice.
maybe
I
say the
was-
original It.
I was about to say that, but since you did, I would say The Ring, which I know
The
you're.
scariest movie of all
I
time.
know.
The
That's
Ring
so wild to
scared-
me.
It's really scared me, and when we
That's
watched it
fair.
again, I was like, "This
Okay.
is genuinely scary."
Okay.
And you still feel that way?
Yes, I think it's like it's
Interesting.
really haunting. Like, and it was again unique for its time. Like, if you had watched it in its time,
Yeah,
I
I
think it
believe
would
The
that.
early
appreciate
2000s
it.
horror was like great.
Yeah.
I mean, great.
But
You
I
had the
think,
House
like-
of Wax, The
Yeah.
Ring, The Grudge.
My top
Um,
one would be It,
oh.
but just because you had already said it, my next one would be It.
Great.
1990 to clarify.
1990. Yes. But like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would put The Exorcist up there. I'm inclined to put Halloween, the original, up there because like it's Halloween.
It's iconic, yeah.
It doesn't mean it's scary, but like man, it's just like that typical like slasher.
I watched the movie Sleepaway Camp, like
I've
the
never seen
the
it.
80s one recently. It is so scary. It's such a
I'm
good
at
twist
Sleepaway
too.
Camp?
Yeah. It's like one of the most iconic. It's one of those iconic like 80s like camp move like literally camp
Yeah.
like horror movies and
Literally,
they're at a camp and it is like we watched that and I was like this had a good twist. It was good.
Interesting.
Speaking of
I added
camp,
it.
one of the things that like scared me when I was little. Do you remember the Kim Possible episode at Camp Wanna Weep?
No.
Oh
Huh?
my god, it was so scary.
Why was it called Camp Wanna Weep?
It's just a joke.
Like I want to weep. Like I want to
Yeah.
cry.
The one that scared me so bad is the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody episode.
Oh, that was
the
scary.
Sweet. What was the sweet number? I don't remember. It was
I don't-
so
yes.
scary. As a kid, I was terrified of that episode.
You know what used to actually scare me is what's the John?
Carpenter?
No, John Nope, John.
Wait, who are you asking
Go into
about?
more detail.
It's like it's like the hotel room that he's in, and it's like a scary movie where he's in a hotel room. And
Is
he's
it
like,
room 1407?
Yeah, 1408.
1408.
What?
Yes.
I've never heard of this.
Well,
Yeah.
it used to, it really,
Cusack.
Cusack.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
John Carpenter, John
John
Krasinski,
Carpenter.
Yeah, I was
John
like,
Cusack.
A Quiet Place?
You would like it, and it kind of like is really freaky.
Send that to me. I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, I will be sending that. I forget about this. Don't worry, we will be in communication.
Even Poe barking. Oh, so speaking of Poe barking, I think we should bring this up of like things that we just couldn't watch. Is that new movie Good Boy that's coming out?
I will not be watching
that
that.
horror movie. I will not be. And I told Matthew this. I would never be able to watch it because I don't want to see a dog be in peril. Like if he whines once, I think he whined in the trailer, and we're like,
he
no.
whined a bunch in the trailer, and I was like, never mind.
It's really sad. And then
Never mind.
also, even if he's gonna survive, they've said they're like, then they have to like spoil that because everyone's like, does the dog die? I'm not going to see that shit.
And that's an important thing I need to know.
And also, so they had to be like, yeah, the dog survives, but I don't want to see that either because it's corny as hell that this dog is gonna be the hero. Like, ew, get out of here. That's
I saw some
stupid.
goofy article that was like, we need to put the dog in the Oscar nomination category. And I'm like, get the hell out
it's
of
not
here.
even funny. Like, it's
Get the
stupid.
hell
Oh,
out
that
here.
reminds me. I was going to ask you guys earlier, why do you think horror movies don't get nominated for more?
I don't know, but it bothers me.
It's just not taken seriously the same way. I mean, we already said that, like, the same way comedy isn't taken. I
Yeah.
don't think horror is taken seriously. And I think it's also because of the Academy, they don't watch horror.
Yeah.
It has to be, like, what they watch, I guess. And if they're not watching it, then it's overlooked. And it's a shame because there are some that should be nominated for Best
Yeah.
Picture.
I think
The
Sinners
silence-
will get nominated.
I think Sinners will, yeah.
I think
Nosferatu.
that's another thing in terms of genres. Like I'm not with the vampires.
Nosferatu
with
was
it.
slightly
But I
overlooked,
liked those.
but
Like,
it at
those
least
are
got
good movies.
nominated.
Yeah.
Nosferatu at least got kind of
And
nominated.
that's the thing is, like, I love a I love a vibe movie where it's like like Nosferatu I don't think is scary, but it's horror. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
say
it's
I don't like
definitely not
vampires, but I
scary,
really
but-
liked Nosferatu.
God, what a great movie.
Sinners was fine.
Nosferatu.
You know what I mean? I
And
think
Sinners.
Sinners was fine. I've watched Sinners like 2 or 3 times. It's fine. Like, you know, but it's not like
I don't think
No.
it's
Oh
scary. Well, there's one scene in it that I thought there's
worthy.
there's
like,
two
it's not
scenes
for
in it that
me.
scared me. Is like when they show when he flies
Yeah.
after her. That
After
startled
Mary?
me.
Yeah.
After Mary, and then also when they show the cult for the cult isn't there when they show the vampires dancing in the
Yeah.
circle
I love that
from
scene.
far away,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh my
I like
gosh.
the song they sing too because
Yeah.
that actor is Irish and he does
1,
like
2, 3,
do
4, 5.
he does yes
Ah!
it was
It's
so
a
good.
vibey.
I think like
But-
when it comes to like scary like horror movies like it is actually crazy to me that like I think to this day The Silence of the Lambs is still the only horror in parentheses horror movie to be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
probably.
And I'm
It's
like
crazy. I think Nosferatu
I
should've
love that
gotten
movie.
More, like, I'm curious to see if like Frankenstein, if it'll be worthy.
I know. Well, it's Guillermo del
Yeah.
Toro, and his usually do get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any upcoming spooky joys that you guys are into?
Frankenstein for sure.
Frankenstein. I'm also.
I'm very
I
excited.
probably for the once will watch. Well, not for once. I've tried his shows, but Mike Flanagan's Carrie. I'll probably watch that, even though I don't know if they'll get it right. But
What's coming up? The Welcome to Derry show.
I'll watch
Yeah.
Welcome to Derry.
Yeah.
See again. I'm just kind
hesitant,
of on the
but-
fence with it because I'm like, why do we need this?
Hey, you
But
know what?
the fact that Bill Skarsgård is in it and
That
it's the
is
same
true.
director as the movies, I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
I think
Or
like
they're
what really
producing
I
those.
love like a 90s horror movie for the same reason that I love like the original Lord of the Rings, where it's a good balance of like CGI and costume, because I think a lot of horror movies these days it's just like there's so much CGI, you know, that I'm just like, okay, well this just isn't scaring me.
We need some more practical effects.
Yes, nothing scarier than seeing like 1930s kids going on a Halloween, you know what I mean, where I'm like, this is
Fair.
scary. You're right.
1930s kids, what?
Like going like dress up for Halloween.
You know what I didn't even say? I think it's on our list, but the freaks from the 1950s or whatever.
I've actually never
Yeah.
heard of that.
So terrifying. And you know
It's
what
in
another,
the 1950s.
Oh my god, it's so scary. They have something at the end, which is one of my niche horrors of like people being turned into animals that I hate. I hate that.
Yeah.
Not turned into them, but like they are physically an animal. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
like,
But
Binks?
freaks,
That's fine.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. But like the tusk,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. Like, okay, Freaks is so scary though in such a silent way, because like the other thing I didn't mention about The Exorcist, and I think this is also like a thing of music kind of adds something of comfort to you where you know
Yeah.
something scary is going to happen because it's like, brr, like, and or something's,
Yeah.
like, if there's no music, you're on your own.
Oh yeah, it
And
really.
The Exorcist does that well, where it's like The Exorcist is pretty silent for the most
Yeah.
part.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I think there's so many images in The Exorcist that just make it powerful. Like when he gets like
she's coming
like,
up the elevator. I hate that. It's
dude,
so scary.
yes. Oh, there's so much symbolism to like heaven and hell, like the descent of the descent into hell or like going to heaven, and
Yeah.
then like when the priest gets out of the car and he's staring up at the house and you just see the glow of the moonlight, and I'm just like, it hits like it's so well done. But you're right, it is relatively very quiet until you get to those very tense moments between the demon and, you know, during that whole exorcism scene is very, very unsettling,
Yeah.
unsettling. And then at the very end, obviously, when like they tussle and she's like, and he's like,
Tussle?
they tussle and she
Throws
he's
her
like,
across the room.
yeah, no, at the very end, when,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
where he's like, take me, and it's so I'm sorry, but like I'm watching that, I'm like,
so
in that
nice of
moment,
him, by the way. Can
I
you just talk
know.
about that?
You can see the pain in his face when like it immediately hits him. And then the creepiest thing about that movie at the very end, where the other priest, I think he's a priest too. He comes
young
to
priest.
him at the end where he fell down the stairs. He's holding his hand and you can see his hand going like this.
Ooh.
It's like it's like moving and it's all bloody, which means that he's not, like, the demon is still there, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
The demon Pazuzu.
yeah, Pazuzu. It was supposed to be one of the scariest
That's
ones. I
what-
do believe in demonic possession, like, by the way, like, I actually do fully
Don't
believe
tell
that
me
it's
that.
I try not to
possible.
think about it. I really try not to
I
think
do
about
believe it.
It
Well,
really
because The
scare-
Exorcist
it's
was
like-
based on a real story about a girl in Germany.
Well, there's a lot of exorcism
Yeah.
stories.
Possession really
Her
scares
name was
me
Annalise.
for my sleep issues, but
It's also, that goes into like cultures. Different cultures don't, the way that we see possessions, because
Yeah.
we don't see it, where like other cultures do see it more, like that's more normal in their cultures, if that makes
Possession?
sense. Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in all that stuff. Like, I mean, I say that.
Because it's like religion, like it's
Oh,
in
yeah.
yeah, but like we see it as like horror. I don't know, it's just interesting. But I do think I was gonna say too about the music, like found footage is scary for that reason of like there's no music, there's
Yeah.
nothing
And
to
it
tell you when something
feels
scary is
real,
gonna
which is
happen.
why
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity, we were having that argument in the notes. Thank you, Molly, for sticking up for it. It was like when it came out was so scary because it was also like they did this campaign where they told people it was real. First of all, like it was
Yeah.
real
Yeah,
found,
they
but
did.
yeah,
They did
And
that
made
with
it
with Blair Witch.
Blair Witch
yeah,
as well.
and like I think that made it scarier. But also like found footage is so like I want to rewatch the original Paranormal Activity because it was really scary at first.
The second and third
We should
ones
put it
are
on after this. We should start a scary movie after this.
Yeah.
the second and third ones are
Absolutely.
also very scary.
Yeah,
I don't remember those as well.
I think also, so before Paranormal Activity, though, it's interesting, no one talks about it enough, but Cloverfield was is also a very scary movie. It's about aliens actually, but you don't see them really. So it's like it's also a found footage movie that came out kind of in between. So I don't think it did as well. For some reason, Paranormal Activity just like really gripped people.
yeah,
But Blair
That's true.
Witch was interesting because the actors in it, they use their real names.
yeah.
And
Oh,
to this
interesting.
day, yeah, they've said like, at least the actress said like she regrets doing that because she's like, it was hard for her to get other roles because people
Yeah.
thought they were actually dead.
Yeah.
They made a website for it. Like they had like
wow.
people thought it was
I do
real.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
to,
what is Poe's favorite movie?
Poe's like
Boy?
just favorite movie
Horror,
in general.
no.
Oh, favorite horror movie.
I know what it is.
Not Cujo.
No, I know what it is.
Definitely
Yeah.
not Cujo. That shit-
What? Pet Cemetery.
Oh, it is.
She's never seen it, but yeah.
Church the Cat.
Oh, but let's talk about Pet Cemetery while
Sure.
Megan's setting up our game. We're gonna play a little round of horror trivia for you
Yeah.
all. But while she's setting it up, if anyone's seen the original Pet Cemetery, the Rachel scene in that movie is so scary.
I've never
I
seen
need
it.
remind me.
Oh
I've
my
seen the original
god!
and the
It's her
remake.
sister who had like scoliosis or something.
Oh
I don't
my
know what
God,
it was.
yes.
But she's like Rachel, and she's so
Yes.
scary looking.
Interesting.
And she like haunts
I remember
her.
that.
I believe that.
It's so scary.
I-
So
I bel-
scary.
I believe it.
Sorry, I like.
I
Fresh,
bet those
it's
smell
like fresh
really
paper.
good.
Please sniff.
Okay, so I think how we should do this is we should each read a question and the other two have
Perfect.
to answer
Okay.
if they
And
know it.
those listening, you can play along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is horror trivia. In
Okay.
case you didn't pick up on that.
Okay. I will read. There's 2 questions on each card. Okay. What horror film was Eli Roth's directorial debut?
Hostel?
No.
I
didn't know
I don't
this.
know.
Was
Eli Roth did a lot of creepy shit.
Was it...
Can you give us a hint?
was it... I was gonna say Cabin Fever. I
Yeah.
don't think. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That was his directorial
I know.
debut?
That's why I looked at it. I was like,
Good job.
That's,
Oh,
by the
what?
way, that's one
Good
of my
job.
all-time favorite
No, that
horror
movie's
movies.
that movie's so good.
I love it.
That movie's so
love
good.
it.
All right. What was the name of the
Love it.
half fly, half human monstrosity in the remake of The Fly?
I never saw
In
The
the
Fly.
remake?
Me
That's a body
either.
horror I'm just not
What's
interested
the
in.
name of it? Is it
I don't think any of
Buzz
us are gonna
The
get
Fly.
it. No.
It's called The Fly.
It's Brundlefly.
Never heard.
Nope,
No.
no.
Didn't know that.
Next.
Wouldn't know that.
Pink
Okay.
cod, Denny cod.
What substance is dumped on the main character at prom and Carrie?
Pig blood.
Yeah. Okay, what 1989 movie did Fred Gwynn tell his neighbor how he can make his son Gage live again?
Sorry.
Oh,
Pet Cemetery.
yeah.
Okay. I was
Oh,
like,
Gage,
oh, Fred. Yes.
duh.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, I got
Gage,
guys. I don't know
that's
if you're
right.
keeping track, but I am winning. Okay. What 2002 movie sequel directed by Guillermo del Toro featured Wesley Snipes as a half-man, half-vampire daywalker?
The
The Night of the Living Dead?
no,
Oh.
no. I'm seeing the front of it.
it Pan's Labyrinth?
It's not. Oh my god. Can you tell me what it starts with?
B.
Blade. Oh,
You're close.
Blade. Blade Runner. I have no idea.
Blade 2?
Yes.
Oh.
I'll give that to Megan.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah,
Blade
you're
2.
close. I'm still giving it to you. I'm giving it to both of you.
Aw.
Bob Clark directed both A Christmas Story and this, I didn't know this, and this 1974 Christmas slasher movie.
Black Christmas.
Yeah, I've never.
Oh, I was going to
Wow.
say Krampus.
Where are we
Krampus.
putting cards? Okay. Krampus. I hated Krampus. I thought it was going to be
I
so
haven't-
good. I remember Matthew and I went to see it.
I
in the
thought you guys
movies.
really liked it for some reason.
No,
I remember
you
I
do
brought
th-
it up to you guys and you were like,
Yeah, you did think
Oh,
we
that's
loved.
too easy.
Oh, by the way, Krampus is a character at Hello Scream now.
That's a
Krampus
real-life horror.
is like in the Germany section of Hello Scream.
oh,
now.
I could see
was
that.
like, wow.
Interesting.
He's
Sorry,
actually pretty
I'm
scary in
like-
person.
I mean,
I could
this
see
one's
that,
too
yeah.
easy, but I
I've
might
never
just
seen
do
it.
it.
It's not good. It's really it's like a comedy basically.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay.
There is one scary scene where you hear him running across the roof, like they're in the house, and you can hear him like boom, boom, and that's like a little scary.
Yeah.
I will say
Interesting.
for
Okay,
cards.
sorry. What horror television series was created by Ryan Murphy, who also created the TV series Glee?
American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
What
I
animal was
like, what?
what animal was Betty White's character feeding in the movie Lake Placid?
I've never
Is it
seen that.
lamb?
An alligator.
I was gonna say alligator.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's my
did know
second
that.
guess.
Oh, it's very Pearl of her.
Betty White.
I
Yeah, I
didn't-
know.
I think once you said alligator, I do actually remember that now. But
Okay. What is the name of the serial killer in the 2004 movie Saw?
Jigsaw.
yeah, Jigsaw.
But what's his real name?
Okay, I do know this.
Oh shit, John.
Hold on.
John. His name's John. I just don't know his last
Think
name.
of Seinfeld.
I don't know that.
Kramer.
Yeah.
Hey,
John Kramer.
Yes.
I
Okay.
don't know.
At the
don't
end
know
of
that.
the slasher film crossover Freddy vs. Jason, which horror icon walks away holding the other's
Jason.
severed head?
Jason's holding Freddy's severed
I haven't
head.
seen
Yeah.
that in a long
Because
time.
and Freddy winks.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Is that camp?
I
Yes,
don't. I've
very
never seen
camp.
it.
Okay, thank you. Because I
I
never
wouldn't
understand
say-
the camp category.
Like I would, you know what? I almost put Nightmare on Elm Street on our list. I don't think it's very scary. I'm not very scared of
Yeah.
it. But I don't think Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Freddy is, or I think Jason's camp. Like I think,
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't think. I think Nightmare on Elm Street is legit scary. I just don't happen to find it scary.
I think it is because like it is the fear of like going to sleep.
Okay, hold on. I have to ask this question. You guys might not know it though. Okay. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. Name the movie.
The Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. This movie messed me up. So in the Eli Roth movie, The Green Inferno, who abducts a group of student activists after their plane crashes in the Peruvian jungle?
I mean, is it like the crazy people? I don't know what they're called. Like I don't know. I've seen The Green Inferno one time. I have no idea.
It's like a what, like if you're thinking of horror movies, like what type of
Cannibals.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
tribe,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
tribe
yeah.
of cannibals.
Yeah,
That
that's
movie
right, that's
is
right.
one of the most disturbing. It's just nasty. It's just a
Yeah.
nasty
It's
movie.
Eli. It is Eli Roth.
It is Eli
yeah,
Roth.
Yeah, Eli Roth. Oh yeah, we did forget to touch on the directors.
We did.
Oh,
But we
yeah.
can
Good job.
casually.
It's
we can
questionable whether
casually
he's
go through
good.
it.
I do happen to like his movies, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
What movie stars professional wrestler Roddy Piper as a drifter who discovers a box of special sunglasses?
Oh, what?
Is
I've
it
never
X-Men?
heard of this.
I don't know.
It's called They Live.
I've never,
I've never
heard
heard
of
of that. Yeah.
This one's interesting. I did not watch it, by the way. Harry Potter's Daniel Radcliffe starred in this 2012 film about a vengeful ghost.
The Woman in Black.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
that movie.
I've never
seen it.
That is such a vibe.
I didn't
Would
find
I
it
like it?
scary, but it's a
I
vibe.
actually thought it was kind of scary.
I don't know. I don't think it. I don't.
It's definitely an Alexa movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Megan movie.
Fair.
I saw it like where I was like fifth wheeling a date when I was in like sophomore year of college, or not college, high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always like I missed half the movie because the whole time I was sitting there and my friends were just like making out next to me. It's just like, oh, okay.
It's my worst
Okay.
nightmare.
Okay. What director of The Omen went on to direct the 1978 film Superman?
Oh,
The director of The Omen?
John.
Oh my god, hold on, don't...
Wait, what's his name?
It's not Wes Craven. No.
No, what? Who is it?
No, give me...
Is it John something?
What's
No.
what's his name start with?
R.
Oh, I'm tired.
What's the first initial of his last name?
D. You want me to just tell you?
Yes.
Okay, it's Richard Donner.
I wouldn't have.
I
got
wouldn't
that.
have guessed
Never
that.
mind. I thought it was like.
Poe, if you know these things, you're supposed to raise your hand.
Oh, interesting. What movie is considered to be a sequel to An American Werewolf in London?
What?
A movie that I think Molly will enjoy.
A sequel?
I've never seen
Yeah.
it.
I don't know.
No. It's An American Werewolf in Paris.
Shit, where are these werewolves
Oh.
going?
I guess I just always
Europe.
think of them as the same movie.
Yeah.
So, Europe. Go ahead, buddy.
You did tell me that I would like that,
Yeah,
didn't you?
it's actually what I... Well,
Hey.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. You guys hopefully will know the first one. Never mind. Tony Todd is known for playing what character in this horror trilogy?
What?
We did talk about it today. I mentioned
Conjuring?
No.
No.
Tony Todd?
it. Mm-hmm.
A horror
In Nightmare
trilogy?
on Elm Street? Hmm?
Mm-mm.
It? No.
No, hold on,
no,
hold on.
it's wrong.
The actor
I don't
just
think you
passed
guys
away.
have
Give me a
seen.
hint.
I don't think you guys have seen this movie. I mentioned it when I said Virginia Madsen. I mentioned the movie.
I'm blanking.
That is who the
What is
actress
it?
is, right? Virginia Madsen. Am I making that up? Whatever. It's Candyman.
I actually haven't seen it.
No.
I
no.
haven't seen it.
Okay, what 2008 movie starring Bradley Cooper featured a killer known as Mahogany who mutilated victims in a subway car?
What?
I've
Bradley
never
Cooper
heard of
was in a
this.
horror movie?
What? I've never heard of this.
What
No.
is it?
And this would have been like the Hangover time. It's called Midnight Meat Train.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of it.
I've never
I've
heard of it. That's
I didn't know he was in
crazy.
it, though.
Thank you.
What?
Wow. Should we do one more
Yeah.
that's like good?
Yeah,
Okay.
do this one, Megan.
Sorry, mine was bad.
Do filler space while
Do this one.
You want me to do that one?
I'm
Update.
curious if I know the answer to
My
this
whole
one.
hands
Okay.
are itching.
The late Aaliyah starred in which 2002 movie based on the Anne Rice book series, The Vampire Chronicles?
Is it the Vampire Lestat?
I would have only known
It is
Interview with the
not.
Vampire.
Shoot.
It is Queen of the Damned.
Damn
Oh,
it.
Damn.
Damn it.
Damn it.
And
Queen
this
of the
is a-
damn it.
Damn it. Damn it. Hi, I'm Chucky. Want to play? Name that movie.
The
Is it Chucky?
It's not Chucky. It's the Child's Play.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow. Well, good job, everybody.
Yay.
I think Molly won.
On the next episode of the pod, I will be doing a detailed reading of my serial killer book.
Megan's ASMR is just like serial
Yeah, it's
killer
talking about
lore.
Ted Bundy tied this woman up and put her. Sorry.
Oh
Oh my god. Megan's killed
Break
us.
her.
That's how we're
Just
ending the
why don't you?
podcast is Megan has hit us over the head with a mallet.
I am a body snatcher. So.
Okay. I love that. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed your time. I hope you're enjoying spooky season. Let us know what your favorite spooky movies, series. Let us know what your costumes are. As always, please like, rate, review, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Share with the ghost in your closet. And most importantly,
Don't look under your bed.
We need more friends
Exactly.
than Megan.
yeah.
We don't, but
We don't, but we
We want
probably
them.
do.
Wait,
I need
you
more.
mean what?
I need more friends than
We
the
need
ghosts
more
in my
friends
mind.
than- yeah.
than the dark figure that came out of my closet at age 7.
Yeah.
It was me.
Aw.
Haunting you like early on in life.
But anyways, we'll see you next time.
Aw.
Bye.